Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not. No, that's not.
Wait.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcos. Let me look at you.
They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit her with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still to the stars with the show, and till then is half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof I'm alive, better more than no proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. What is a star? Like another city, the driver's side flyer. Just to get large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. 8, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever and cute as can be. You can watch us on YouTube with view for free. Ay. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
No promises today, Tommy.
No promises.
No promises today, Tommy. Good morning, everybody, and welcome on in. It is Tobin and Leroy.
Vice Shirts Friday, baby.
It's a Vice Shirt Friday.
Vice Shirt
Even in Sin
Friday.
City.
Doesn't matter where we are or what we doing. If it's Friday, it's Vice Shirt Friday.
Yes, yes. So we are here live in Las Vegas, day 2 of Radio Row. Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. Business picked up yesterday, dude. I got to say, like, they've been very respectful, but then yesterday got very, very intense at the press conference.
Marcos, here's all you need to understand, right? When there's a brouhaha, a kerfuffle, a dust-up, it ain't never with the two parties involved. It's always with the
Extra
yes men.
curriculars.
This extra, you are right.
Yep.
And so when Tobin said, we had a little dust-up, I'm like, it wasn't the fighters. Nope.
One of the fighters. It was Bud, but it was at Errol Spence's crew.
It wasn't at the
Some
them.
guy.
Ooh.
Some
Bud
guy
was
in the,
involved
the
though, like
background.
actual Bud or like.
Yeah,
his
I mean,
crew?
like he was really getting intense on the podium, and then Errol Spence is like, he's like, you're getting too emotional, and so like I don't know, Bud had a look about him yesterday, like he's in complete killer mode. I think I may have switched my pick. I think I have my pick now.
You going with
I think I'm going with Bud.
Yeah.
I think
Just
I'm going
because
with
of the dude, look, I have never met a man who he looks at stuff
Mhm.
and changes his mind based on the feeling he gets seeing a certain situation.
Yep.
So, for example, and I'll tell you what this is, Marcos, this is the old horseman in him, right? Because basically, there's guys that watch the horses walk out and see how they walk out and say, oh, he's going to have one today. And they run and bet on it. That's what he just did.
Yeah, it is.
It is. They do it.
It
Like,
is.
It's a good call.
I just I had a feeling, and I was like, oh, because I didn't know, and I'm like, no, I'm going with Terrence Crawford. I wanted to go with Terrence Crawford because I don't want to underestimate Errol Spence, but now I'm like, nah, it's Bud, and I think I'm taking him by knockout late.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's gonna stop him.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean, all that size, and you say he's just going to.
He doesn't look that small. He looks like he's filled out.
Who?
Bud.
Bud?
He don't look that much smaller than him. I don't know. Maybe it'll look different in the ring. Maybe he's
What, at
wearing-
147?
Yeah.
Okay. They all look ripped.
No, but I know.
Have
but
you ever met a fat 147-pound grown man?
I didn't even see him with their shirts off. I just saw him at the press conference with clothes on. I'm like,
Okay.
I didn't know if he was wearing lifts.
Okay.
Fighters will do that.
Hey, so, Marcos, you're going to be the arbiter on this?
Yeah. Marcos's Arbiting is brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center.
nice.
Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks. So, last night, I took my chances at the table after we had pretty good meal. Pretty good meal for an empty restaurant.
Pretty good, love.
Yeah.
We spent all dinner just raving about Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, yeah.
Ah,
Oh, yeah. So,
It was a real hoot. We're just like, oh, Ohtani.
future
So
Marlin
we're-
Shohei Ohtani.
yeah, we're sitting there, and then we go to the tables. Now, Tobin doesn't gamble, but he got to come with me because he could drink for free, right?
Right.
But by then we were already tapped out.
Well,
so
that's not. No. Let's not brush over details. What we did, Marcos, is as we left the steakhouse, we were in a daiquiri mood.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey.
We were
Nice.
In honor of the pinks, we got pink lemonade.
Yeah.
In the supersized
Lion Cup.
dude,
You got
I
a
had
New
to hold
Orleans
that-
hand
look.
grenade?
I had to put my little backpack on and hold that thing like this. It was massive.
You want to know what the flavor was called, Marcos?
What?
Nah, I can't even.
No.
I can't
No.
Dude,
the flavor was called Tickle Pink.
Okay.
Very manly.
very, very, very.
So,
Wait,
Okay. Both of you
so
guys
the both
go
of us,
from-
the both of us are walking through the casino with
a
giant
tickle pink, huh?
tickle pink.
Double Tickle Pink.
Nice.
The only thing that could have made it worse is if it was in a Lambert with a hat, a pink cowboy hat.
Oh
Yeah.
great.
Nothing would have said that we're together like that.
Tickle Pink was
Right.
I will say
It was delicious.
My fancy is tickled.
Oh yeah. So we pull up to the table, right? And I start playing, and this lady, older lady, comes. She's dealing. First of all, she's miserable.
Oh man.
Right? She is miserable.
You need a dealer, like
Like at least be into it a little bit with
Yeah.
the people, right?
No.
She didn't have nothing. She basically said, I don't care about the money. I just care about the cards. That's the only thing they check. Right?
Yeah.
Make sure she's doing the hands right. And I said, in Florida, they still shake the dice to figure out what's the starting point. And she said, yeah, it's a lot more work pushing this button because you get more hands in. Right? And I'm like, all right. But so her name was Ginger. And she was a redhead.
Yeah.
But she might have been the same age as OG Ginger.
She looks like she
Oh.
dates in the Vic Fangio
Right.
the Vic Fangio age range. Like
More,
she was an old one. And so I had wondered, Marcos,
Here we go.
her name's Ginger, she's a redhead, she's a dealer.
Yeah.
Retired Vegas stripper, yeah.
Okay.
Like that's
Dude,
that's what
and
All
here's
right.
where you come in.
Yep.
Here's where you come in. You can see a woman or man. I'm not gonna be, and see them at their older stage and determine at no way in life were they hot.
Wow. And that's your theory?
Dude,
I'm telling
I don't know if it was her personality.
No, you just
I don't. But for him to just all of a sudden assume that Ginger was a stripper back in her day.
well, she definitely, like, if it was like Ginger was her stripper name, and she's like, where can I bring this? I know, the blackjack table.
Yeah.
But you don't know what she would have looked like back in the day, dude. She could have been.
Yes, I do.
She could have been a Stone Cold
Yes,
Fox.
I do, dude. I am excellent at this.
She could have been. Ginger could have been a dime.
No, dude. Have you ever met an ugly old person and seen a picture of them when they were younger and they were beautiful?
The old change, dude. You don't know what they look like.
Dude, no.
I mean, I think it's just because she was a grouch. I think if Ginger had a bubbly personality,
dude.
you would have thought. But she, like Margot, she looked like she wanted to shush Leroy at the blackjack at the pie gout table.
And it wasn't even me. It was other people that was losing that were miserable.
Oh man, it was crazy.
Right.
I was like, man, the vibes here.
Not me though.
Not him. Good night
Not
for
me.
Good night for Mr. Hort at the pie gal.
At Ginger's table?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
She wasn't there the whole night though, right?
Yeah, because they she was the main. So the way it works is you have the main dealer,
Yeah.
and then you have the tap on the shoulder come in and give them a break. So
Gotcha.
every 40 minutes they get a 20-minute break.
Oh, nice.
So you have her for 40 minutes, and then somebody comes and subs in for 20 minutes, and you go back and forth. I have to say, like, it's far from one time we went to Planet Hollywood.
Yeah.
And this black lady, she had bubbly personality or whatever. I had a little stack in front of me. She said, "Ooh, you've been winning, huh?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "I'm about to get that." The
Nice.
dealer.
Yeah.
trash talking dealer.
I like that, though.
Me
I like
and
that.
Tobin looked at each other. Was like,
I
"Wow."
didn't know that was allowed. I don't know what the temperament is for a dealer. I do know it should be maybe somewhere between trash talk and Ginger.
Yeah,
right,
like
yeah.
somewhere is a nice mix.
But I really thought like she was going to charge Leroy a late fee for a book.
Yeah.
Sir.
Oh,
You keep it down.
yeah. But other than that, it was an early night. You know, it's funny because I can't explain it, but the people that we met, you know, from Ann Arbor, they wanted to go get something to eat and then hook up. And at like 10 o'clock, dude texts and say, all right, we ready. We done eating.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Damage is done.
Yep. I was like, nah.
Damage is
I didn't
done,
even
my friend.
respond. I didn't even respond because I didn't want to be persuaded.
Yeah. That's
So
fair.
I just like I had a couple of more minutes at the table and put it this way, I was so tired that I was winning and I left.
Wow.
Like I was winning damn near every hand and I still got up and left because it got to the point where I didn't care if I won or lost. I was just so tired.
Yeah. I mean, you guys had a long like transition, right? You know.
Yeah,
you
it was
got
basically like a
late.
nonstop yesterday.
Yeah.
It was kind of
Right.
crazy. So
Nice, man.
And let's not forget that at 6:30 yesterday morning, it was 97 degrees.
Rough. How's it feeling today?
It felt cooler for some reason.
Yeah,
I
it
can't.
did.
I don't know why.
Your body's adjusted to the desert.
No, maybe because I made sure I walked in the shade over here.
Smart.
I didn't want I felt like Dracula up in here. Like if I get in that sun, I'm just gonna melt.
Tobes, did you get coffee?
I
Yeah,
did
he
get
did.
coffee.
Nice.
He did. He was complaining, but
Yeah.
here's the thing.
Yep.
Some of these casinos have like 4 Starbucks in them.
It's a lot of Starbucks.
The
sure, for
one
sure.
that we're in a smaller casino, and they have 2. He went to the wrong one.
They got like 9 pizza places though, which is a little weird.
This is New
No
York,
thin
you're
crust.
talking about, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
of
gotta
course,
if
of
you
course,
stay in New York, it got to be all kinds of
are
pizza.
any of them good though, or any of them like wow? This
I
is
tell you what
authentic?
we did. I tell you what did intrigue us.
What?
They had a little pretzel stand, and it put Annie M's to shame. I saw the hot dog pretzels. I was like, we were on our way to eat, but I almost got one as a snack.
Robbie the Degenerate chimes in. He says, only degenerates know the shift schedule. We'll take a quick break. We are live here from Radio Row. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence taking each other on Saturday, tomorrow, live on Showtime pay-per-view. Freddie Roach, he's going to join us on the show today. We will talk to the legendary trainer and get his thoughts on the main event coming on up. But we have to get to Dolphins news, of course. Jalen Ramsey, he got hurt at practice yesterday. This broke during our show. We now know a little bit more about the significance of the injury. Mike McDaniel has just addressed the media. We will talk about the Dolphins star cornerback going down next.
Oh no!
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you live from Las Vegas. Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford taking each other on for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. Bud Crawford trying to make history as he looks to become the first man to be undisputed in 2 different weight classes. Alexander Usyk has to be like, damn you, Tyson Fury. It was right there. It was right there. And they couldn't get the fight together.
No, but it's, first of all, that's a different situation.
What?
Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford are a lot closer than Usyk and Tyson Fury.
When you say, oh, you just mean in talent?
Yeah.
I think Tyson Fury would whoop Alexander Usyk's ass, but I don't know. Usyk's never lost, and he has been undisputed in another weight class. So
I would say this: I have the utmost respect for Tyson Fury, based on a guy that size having a game plan for each fight, and actually, like, you can see it come to fruition, and so
also fruition. I'm sorry. I'll take my -1 for sass.
-1 for sass.
Grow up, Tobin. You knew what he meant.
No, stop it. First of all, you can't laugh too. You try to hide it. Look, he's over there.
Oh, man.
Really? I mean, I share my mac and cheese with you.
Whoa. Nice.
Dude, hey, so somebody said only Leroy Leroy and Tobin would have Vegas stories, not being stuck up under a lady pyramid, but of food they ate.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's what we look forward to the most.
I'm telling you.
Meanwhile, let's get to the big news yesterday. Jalen Ramsey, he's going to be out for a while. Mike McDaniel just addressing the media. He said that he is going to have surgery on his knee today. He said the length of the rehabilitation is dictated on what could occur in the surgery. So the timeline is still to be determined. What I can tell you is I don't think the beginning of the regular season is part of the scenario. How deep in the season depends on what happens today. They say that his ACL is intact. I think meniscus was thrown out yesterday or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's still, the early leans on it where it was going to be like, if he comes back, it's going to be like a late push in the season.
But here's the thing you need to understand about a meniscus. I've had guys get their meniscus snipped and we're out 2 weeks. I've seen more serious meniscus injuries, and basically it was almost equivalent to tearing the ACL. One of the things that a lot of us don't understand, and I'll try to help you understand, is they do an MRI, right? They see the damage, but they don't know in total what the damage is until they go in there and scope.
Okay.
And so when they say he's having surgery, that's to fix the problem they can see. But sometimes you got to go in there. There's a little debrisement. There's stuff floating around. It might not be as bad. It might be worse. One of the ligaments might be damaged. They go in there and fix. You just don't know. All you know is what they can see. But when they go and scope, they look around to make sure everything else is okay. So that's why, based on what you're hearing, you really don't know, because until you hear what happened in the surgery, then you can get a better idea of the recovery time and stuff like that. And that's why. And it always happens with knees, right? Because if they see like an ACL tear or something like that, then you know. But even when they go in to fix the ACL tear, they do other stuff. Like you might have other damage in there. But because you see the ACL tear, you know it's just going to be a long period of time. With a meniscus, it's a little bit different, because depending on the injury or the damage to the meniscus, depending on what you have to clean up around it, depending on what the other stuff going on is around it,
right,
that determines how long it is. And there's really, until you go in there and do the surgery, you don't know.
It's just it is a huge bummer. I mean, he obviously was a high profile signing. It was the biggest move they made in the offseason.
Yeah, it just like that. And to be honest,
and he knows the system. Like he came in because he knew
Right.
Vic Fangio's system right off the bat. So, and whoever's going to be playing opposite side of Xavier Howard is going to be a young guy. I mean, it's going to be a young guy. I mean, Eli Apple's still out there if you want to work him out.
dude. Let me tell you something, Twitter. Hey, Twitter.
Hey,
Don't be playing with my emotions like that, sending me Eli Apple tweets. The hell's wrong with y'all? Dude, if the Dolphins sign Eli Apple, I'm going and put my money on the under.
They're not going to sign Eli Apple. I mean, like you already have. First of all, Cater Co, who already started a lot last year.
Cater Cole,
you
still got no
you-
Igbenogany, who's what, 20?
And we don't know about Cam.
22?
Listen, we don't know about Cam Smith. Cam Smith has got a lot of high, a lot of high praise on him coming in. Now, he is a rookie, but like
There's a lot of guys.
so
There's
was
a
Cater
lot of
last
guys.
year.
There's a lot of guys in the secondary that show a lot of promise that you aren't as lost as one would believe because you lost a guy like Jalen Ramsey. They may not be as good as Jalen Ramsey or as crafty as Jalen Ramsey, but they do have some talent.
The other news on the injury front for the Dolphins, apparently Jalen Phillips got stepped on yesterday at practice, so he is just out as a precaution.
On his foot?
Yeah.
Dude.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, don't laugh. It is one of the most painful, and you know when it's worse?
Mhm.
When it's 20 degrees.
Oh, imagine.
You imagine going back into the huddle with all them men that we do all that lifting and running and beating on each other, and you see a tear coming down somebody's eye, and they all look and go, you got your toe stepped on, huh? Yes, it's brutal. So, yeah, that's okay, though,
Josh
man.
says,
It's camp.
Phillips too. The season is over. He's fine. He's just resting. Like there's no point in having him out there.
Man,
Yeah.
Look, there's
not even pads on yet.
This is basically what you go through in camp, right? Guys are going to get some aches, some bumps and bruises. They sit Teron Armstead before he gets them.
I know that is good. So we have
Like,
Armstead,
Armstead,
Jalen Ramsey, and Jalen Phillips all not practicing already.
But here's the deal. Armstead, he starts the season as a precaution.
Yeah.
Like, is that crazy? Where are we going to sit about? Why precaution?
He's like, listen, I got to get. He's like, do you think you have to get something cleaned up?
Right.
Clean it up.
Right.
Because, we don't want to. Listen, we'll just get you in. We'll rev you up in the last week of practice. We'll get you ready for week 1 against the Chargers.
Right.
No need Armsteads.
What are they chicken fighting?
I don't know. I was looking up Jalen
Well, that's
Phillips.
Chubb and Jalen Phillips chicken fighting.
Is that what that is? Chicken
You
fighting?
know what it is? So the offensive lineman goes and puts his arm out to block you. And that's the swim move to try to, you know what I'm saying? See? Get the arm out of the way. But see, if you get that arm and pull it, then you get him and you can go around him. But that's why the offensive lineman on the other side doing this. To get that arm out of there so you can't do that. It's a joke. Like, look, all that football, all that working out, and they chicken fighting on the side. Because neither one of them practicing.
Yeah.
So that's what we can just that's what we call right there in the business, mental reps.
Well, yeah, hopefully Jalen Phillips is a quick recovery. He's back out there soon.
Yeah,
Jalen Ramsey, we hope that he has a good surgery today. And
keep an eye out for the results of the surgery. Because in the next couple of days, or maybe later on today, the Dolphins will know, right? But basically they'll come in and say what exactly had to be done. Now, we might not find out. They might just give us a timeline because he could really go in there and say it's not as bad as we thought. He might, come back a little sooner. But that's usually the case with like a knee injury. You go in, if it's not a definitive thing, and a meniscus is kind of weird in that if you have a partial, like a knee sprain is a partial tear. So when they say, oh, he has a grade, whatever that is, I don't know if it's the.
Do partial tears ever recover? Or do partial tears ever recover? Or is it just always going to be partially
they
tear?
do. But there's enough attached that it could, or counterpart, it could tear even easier the next time.
That's what I was
which
thinking.
is, I'm guessing, is what happened to Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
Right? They say,
Yeah,
he's not going to need surgery. He wore a brace, and then the first time he went through something.
Well, that's the thing I'm worried about is like, let's see, he has surgery, but like, how do you know when you come back and you're going to be like, you just dropped into the middle of the season? Like, is that
then you don't just get dropped in. You know, you're doing like a buildup.
Okay.
So even though you're not practicing with the team, like next week, he'll start doing like exercises so the leg doesn't atrophy. And then it'll get to maybe a couple of weeks. Now, the thing about knee injuries now, and I don't know how it is with a meniscus, but when a guy has a tear, they want you putting weight on it as soon as possible. So you ever notice a guy that had ACL surgery, and in 2 weeks you see him walking and you go, wow. No, they want you walking as soon as possible. Whereas before, years ago, they used to put a big cast on you and you were just shut down for like 2 months.
Different strokes, though. Like, Ramsey, they want him on it immediately. Solana, he took his time.
Well, no, there's one word to describe that. Soft. I mean, what did we tell you, huh? Like, I'm sure Jalen Ramsey doesn't have to call mom to come and bring him some lunch. He got that on lock.
I feel like if Jalen Ramsey's probably got a different
or Jalen Ramsey didn't move home with his mom so he could have somebody take care of him. Right? Like, come on, man, stop that. We talk about a world-class athlete, and you put him in the same sense with Solana.
I'm just saying it's different for different people. That's all I said.
No,
Still working on it.
For an athlete, not much different, right? There's a little bit of wiggle room as far as time of recovery, but that also is when somebody says they tore their ACL, there's different levels.
Right.
Whereas Solana, no, soft.
The other piece of news is Dalvin Cook. He was on Good Morning Football today. He is in New York for a visit with the Jets this weekend. And it does feel very much like the momentum is going there because, Aaron Rodgers redid his contract. They freed up some money.
That's not why.
That's not why they did. That's not why he did it.
That's not why the Jets are a better fit for him.
Oh, I'm just saying, but that's just
right.
That's why
the Jets are a better fit because he can go in and play. Right away.
But here's this was a quote from Dalvin Cook this morning. If you want to know about how much he doesn't want to be on the Jets, but is being maybe forced to go to the Jets, he said on the idea of still playing for the Dolphins, I'm still weighing my options. This thing is not over. Playing for my hometown would mean so much to me, for my community, my family. It's a Cinderella story.
It's also except
that dude wants to be a Dolphin, dude.
Except for one difference.
What?
That contract would not allow you to turn into a pumpkin. Right? Or
if the Jets contract is a lot fatter, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the point. Like it still is profession. Now, here's the other thing. If you're Dalvin Cook and you're in the prime of your career, you can't go somewhere where you're going to be rotated. And that's the point that I was making before. It's not even who's that running back. It's the way they use the running game down here. You see what I mean? They don't have, a workhorse. They don't use a workhorse. They've never done that. Mike McDaniel hasn't done that wherever he was. So that's just the nature of the offense.
Mike said this morning, Coach McDaniel said, I'm extremely happy with our running back group. I have great relationships with some talented players. However, Dalvin Cook is a great player if it works for both sides, if it makes sense. You're adding a player to a team, the organization, and the player, all things they both need to be met for it to work. He's a free agent. He's visiting the Jets. That's all I have to say. Man, he says a lot of words to just say.
So basically, here's what's happening. Y'all want me to break it down for you?
Yeah.
So I'm going to beat Dalvin Cook. This Jets offer looks pretty good. I'm going to go meet with him. But I'm going to just throw it out there in case the Dolphins want to match it because I'd really rather play down there.
Yes.
Mike McDaniel responds to that because he's testing the waters also. Oh, great player. Love to have him. If it makes sense.
Yep.
And if it makes sense means if the Jets don't offer him more money and it's samesies, then we got a chance.
Also, if you're Dalvin Cook, like, you don't want to go into a weekend with it. If there's not a contract offer already that they've already upped that he knows about, like, you don't want to not feel like you're not willing to go somewhere else, right? So, like, you want to keep your leverage going into the Jets visit too.
Well,
so you give a Goosey.
It's not really about leverage. It's about money.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like, if let's just say he does that. I mean, I'm sure there's a scenario where the agent already knows what the offer is going into this visit, and they're just trying to test things out, maybe get him looked at.
Is he up there today?
Yes.
At about, it is 10:36 East Coast time.
Yeah.
At about 2:00, right before we get off, Dalvin Cook will be in New York.
No,
Jet.
you don't know that.
Leroy!
You don't know that.
What are you
Yes, I
doing?
do.
Why are you doing that?
Why would
Yes, I
you do that?
I'm telling you.
That's not cool.
Listen,
You just call it like that. You're calling the fight.
here's
You're
what
stepping in like a cautious ref.
Here's what I would say. What I'm saying about this situation has nothing to do with what I think about Dalvin Cook. So don't come at me like that. But the best situation for Dalvin Cook to further his career and probably get a nice contract the following year is to go somewhere where as soon as he hits the door, you know he's playing. The Jets, Breece Hall is injured. They don't have a running game. He goes in there with Aaron Rodgers. He plays right away. And whatever he needs to prove or do or show that he can still play in this league or be a dominant player in this league, the opportunity best fits him there. I'm just looking at it from a running back and what situation is best. Not from where I, would like him to play.
I just wish you didn't say like, oh, he's going to be by show's end.
Okay.
I mean, like,
Okay. Because here's what the Jets are going to do.
What?
The Jets are going to put the squeeze on him and say,
take it or leave it?
No, that this deal is good today.
Ooh. So
or
it is a
this
take it or
deal,
leave it.
you sign. Yeah, but how many times? Wait, you've heard enough trips and stuff like that. How many times has a guy taken a visit somewhere and they put the clamps on him, and then next thing you know, he's signed?
Don't want to get back on the plane.
Right. It's not like basketball where you can get the max wherever you go.
When we come back, a legend, Freddie Roach, talks a little boxing with us. That's next.
We'll have the latest
We are here at Radio Row in Las Vegas for Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. I got to be honest, when they told me I had the chance to talk to Freddie Roach, one of the biggest thrills, man. I'm a huge boxing fan. I was a big Manny Pacquiao fan, so to get a chance to talk to you for a few minutes was a huge thrill for me, Freddie. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
This is, I don't know how to pick this one, Freddie. It seems like such a tough matchup. Both guys are so great. They're, one, the size, the versatility of Terrence Crawford. How do you think this one shakes out, man, between Spence and Crawford?
Yeah, it's a great fight, and I'm really, really happy that this fight is happening. When the best fight the best is, we can't get it any better than this. And then, I do like Crawford in this fight. I think he's a very intelligent fighter, very smart. He figures out what kind of fight he's going to fight in the first, second round. He doesn't really just go in there with his original game plan. He plays with it a little bit and goes southpaw and switch righty. And he's very good at that. Spence is probably a little bit of a better puncher, and he's going to try to walk him down and try to knock him out. But I think that Crawford is just too smart a fighter.
When you're watching Crawford fight, like what's the switch in him when you see him kind of go into that mode to try and finish things? What is the special switch for him?
That switch right is like he'll switch from southpaw to righty or vice versa, and he'll be very, very comfortable with it. And then that's when the game plan kicks in, because he's already got that thought out in training camp, and he doesn't seem to listen to his trainers a lot in the corner. But the thing is, I'm used to that too. That happens, but the thing is, sometimes you get a clever fighter like him, and you just let him be what he is, and that's what I think they should do in this fight.
Giovanni Cabrera, you're training him coming into this against Isak Cruz. When you have a guy, hot shot, he's coming up, he gets the big kind of stage. Is there anything extra you have to do in preparation for, hey, there's going to be bigger lights, brighter lights, or do you want your fighter to kind of thrive in that? Like, what do you tell Giovanni going into a night like this?
Going into a night like this, I try to get the perfect game plan down and so forth, and then when the bell rings, he gets in there and he starts throwing left and right and whatever. He's another guy. He's very, very hard to figure out. I mean, he can't figure himself out, I feel, and I can't figure him out sometimes either. And sometimes he'll come back to the corner, I'll slap him in the face. I say, hey, let's get back on the game plan. And he'll listen after a while. But he is a good boxer. He's a good puncher, and he does have knockout power with both hands. And I feel that he's fighting a smaller opponent. Everyone says this guy's like bigger and stronger and all that, but he's about 4.5 inches shorter, and I think he can beat him right down the middle.
What is it like, Freddie, training the guy on the come up when his star's starting to be bright? Because like when you're with Manny, the star's always bright. Like you always know what that's like. But I'm sure like maybe that can get routine almost to a certain point. What is it like when you get to see the budding career starting to get to finally everybody's going to get to know him? Yeah,
I mean we just work every day, and we're gonna work this afternoon one more time on the mitts, and he's gonna dictate everything to me that what we worked on is gonna work, and he knows it like I do, and I think we can beat his opponent right down the middle all night long, because he's again a lot shorter and he's more of a hooker. He's very strong in the abs and so forth. So we are gonna work the body a lot, and once we once we kill the body, the head will fall.
Man, he's an exciting one right off the bat. Like this is going to be an exciting stage for him, Freddie.
This is an exciting fight. It really is. Yes.
There was some talks maybe that Manny and Errol Spence were going to fight. You always had a very honest assessment of like how Manny could dial up, especially at maybe that point in his career. What were the things that would have worried you against Errol Spence in that kind of a matchup?
Just his punching power, and he's really a great puncher. And Manny isn't really like a true 47-pounder. He's more of a true 35-pounder, I feel, and it just like sometimes guys are just not made for the style-wise. Spence is a good puncher, the thing is. But then, Pacquiao has a lot of speed and has a lot of movement, and You know, can he outbox this guy? That's exactly what we would try, and I feel that that's what his opponent is going to do tonight, is try to outbox him, and I feel that Crawford can outbox him.
One of we're down here in Miami. Eric Spoelstra always has a big tie. He's a big fan of Manny Pacquiao. Did you ever get a chance to cross paths with Eric Spoelstra, the Heat head coach, at any point?
I've met them and say hello, but not really get to know them at all. And you know, Crawford, I sat with during the Hall of Fame last year, and he was a nice guy, very polite. And he says sometimes you call me great, sometimes you call me a bum. I said, well, sometimes I forget your name. I said, yeah, having too many fights isn't the greatest thing in the world.
A couple more before we get you out of here, Freddie. I know you work sometimes with mixed martial artists like George St. Pierre. The crossover fight coming up, Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. Yeah. Does Francis have any shot whatsoever? Does the MMA guy ever have a shot against the trained boxer?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, because the awkwardness of their attack is just so different and so forth. You know, a spinning back kick, and sometimes you don't see the kick coming with the spin. You're looking at the spin, and then you get caught cold right in the middle of it. And then, you know, like George St. Pierre, I mean, I was so happy that in his last fight he knocked the guy out with the left hook. We've been working on the left hook for 6 years. And it finally came true. So, yeah, you know, you never know when you mix the two.
We appreciate you giving us some time, Freddie. Thank you so much. Can't wait for this week. Good luck to you and Giovanni this weekend. And it was a real thrill. Thank you for giving us some time.
Thank you very much.
Tagovailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua. Can go to hell. Dolphins quarterback. Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of
Our Tua the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you live from Las Vegas for Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. Coming on up tomorrow from T-Mobile Arena for the welterweight championship of the world.
I'm freezing.
Are you?
You're not cold in here?
No, I feel great.
It's because you're a
Wow.
bear.
That's
No,
good.
it's
Yesterday was hot, so that's good.
No, not in here.
Oh.
In here, like, you have to understand, like, every casino is freezing. But it's even colder if you don't have any people in said building. So I'm telling you, there's a hole, 2 holes this big, just sticking in from outside, that's blowing the world's coldest air. And there is 5 people in here.
Man, you guys have been early both days now.
Yeah, but I mean, when we leave,
well, the show is the show.
Right. When we
true,
leave,
is
the
it?
people are just starting to get here. The cool thing about this, though, is if we had this time in most of our other radio rows, the building wouldn't have been open.
No. Yeah, it's been cool. They've taken care of us for sure.
Right.
And appreciate Freddie Roach. That was a throw for me, man. I've been
You
a
know who my
huge
guy
Freddie
is.
Roach fan. Teddy Allen.
Yeah.
I've been a huge Freddie Roach, Manny Pacquiao fan for a long time. I've never gotten a chance to interview him. He's like one of the rare guys in boxing I've never gotten a chance to talk to. So that was really cool. But he swayed me. Terrence Crawford. He swayed me. If the Hall of Famer tells you, and he was so like emphatic, he was just like, you could see his eyes light up like just as a boxing guy. He goes, it's like he just do everything. Like he's just, you can see how crafty he is. And I was just like, I'm gonna go against Freddie Roach.
But here's the deal, though. So you're saying Spence has a puncher's chance?
No, it's not a punch. He's a good boxer.
Right.
He's just not as dynamic. You know, he's just big, straightforward, but he's crisp. Crisp. I'm not even doing the Jalen Wall thing, but like he's crisp. He's just got like he doesn't have a lot of flaws, but he also can just be like sometimes you'll watch Errol Spence, you're just like, is he engaged tonight? Like, is he like and Terrence Crawford, you could just see he'll go into kill mode. And that's the thing I just love about him. And everybody just loves that he's so versatile. And I don't know, man. He's just like he's
a more well-rounded. And here's the only question I have about boxing a lot. Does the well-rounded boxer always win? Because sometimes, even though you have that bag, if you ain't using it properly, you could get caught.
Right. Well, that's the thing.
He always uses
it properly.
And that's one of the things I told you why I just appreciate watching Tyson Fury.
Oh, yeah.
The guy goes in with a game plan. It's amazing how a guy that size can execute game plan. Now, the only difference between Fury and a lot of other boxers is if he makes a mistake and gets knocked down, the guy can take a punch.
Let's get to some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
I have a conundrum because I'm really, really mad at Shams.
Spell it.
I got a conundrum because I'm really, really mad at Shams Charania. And one of our listeners brings up a good point, and I may be at that point where I have to do this. But during the Freddie Roach interview, I got a notification from Shams, and it started with the Portland Trailblazers. And I was like, oh!
Wait a minute. First of all, if something like that happened, you're getting something closer to home.
What do you mean?
You're getting notifications closer to home.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Like Ira or something, or Barry Jackson.
Is going to be on that.
Look, all respect to those guys.
No.
Shams broke who won the Shams broke like Trump getting COVID. Shams broke like Biden winning the presidency. Shams knows all. Shams was the guy who broke the Dame news that he wanted to come to the Heat.
No, he didn't. It was what's his name?
No, Chris Haynes broke the trade request, but the guy who broke that he only wanted to come to the Heat was Shams. Trust me, I'll never forget that day. It was July 1st, a warm day,
dude,
the greatest Saturday there ever was, when Damian Lillard only requested a trade to the Miami Heat.
So what's happening?
So anyway, Shams tweeted out, the Portland Trailblazers are waiving guard Jonathan Williams. And I'm just like, hey, you're Shams. You don't need to tweet that. You don't need to tweet that. You don't need to tweet that.
Why?
Because I don't need to. You're
wait.
He doesn't need to tweet
Can I ask
small
you a question,
potatoes.
Marco?
For deception.
It's not deception. You think if there was some news on Dame, that news would be coming in hot? Like this news came in lukewarm. You had to read it.
What you're saying is what gets to my next point. And this is from DK, one of our listeners, and he goes, take off notifications. It's good for your mental well-being. And he's right. I mean, I have had Shams and Woj on notifications now going on 27 days. If I don't miss a Woj tweet, it goes right to my phone.
Dude.
Right to my phone. And he makes a good point. Is it time for me to take it off?
You know what we got to do?
For the rest of time. I don't know if I can wait for Damian Lillard news.
I'm going to be honest. We need to have an intervention.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because too much. Dude, I'm telling you. And he's a one-finger scroller.
Wow.
So, like, he was in the before he got concussed and passed out on the plane, he was one finger in it. Scrolling. I'm like, dude, you can't.
He has seen me attached to Twitter now.
Too
and
much.
It's simply for Damian Lillard news.
It's too much.
And I don't care what it is. Like it could be anything, any small crumb. It could be Damian Lillard's cousin. It could be Jimmy Butler's friend with a Damian Lillard tweet. Anything now. I'm just looking for the scraps. But I have the heavy hitters. I have the people I need on notifications, and I think I got to take them off because Shams and Woj are making me mental. I can't take this anymore.
Why do you do this to yourself?
I don't know.
Because then what happens is you get on the show and you get crazy.
I don't know.
He's addicted to fodder.
I love fodder. I love fodder. But I just think that Shams really Shams and Woj need to start, raising the bar of what they need to tweet. I don't need to know that the Trailblazers are waving a guard I've never heard of.
Yeah, he did only play
from
5
Shams.
games.
You should have known, though.
What do you mean I should have known?
When news trickles in and nobody else is already like here, because you follow everybody, right?
Yeah.
When the Dame news comes across, it may be reported by Shams first.
Yes.
But it's going to be picked up by a whole bunch of people, and then your Twitter's going to blow up.
Yes.
So,
but the thing
if
is,
your Twitter didn't blow up, then it wasn't blow up material.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You don't know how Twitter works because you're barely on it. I need the first gateway. So, like, if I'm just about my business, we're just hanging around, I'm having a tickled pink, whatever. And I'm, bing, Shams bomb.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Look, that's how I need that's how I need to live my life.
I was at the table gambling, and I said, "Hey, man, sit down." No, can't use Twitter.
Yeah, they don't let me use my phone. So
what?
Yeah.
So he was in the back,
which is kind of stupid with Pie Guy. You can't cheat at Pie Guy because the card's already there.
I don't know how to even play Pie Gal, but I feel like you should be able to use your phone.
Well, listen, I tell you one thing. If I tried, Ginger killed me.
Dude. She was not very friendly.
Sir, what are you doing?
More like a ginger snap. Old love ginger snaps.
Oh, the old do love ginger snaps, dude.
What, like, when, can I ask you a question? Because, I'm getting older.
Mm-hmm.
When do I start liking ginger snaps and Werthers?
He still got some time. Luckily, he still got some time, dude.
Because
honestly, you don't even buy them. They just appear in your pocket.
We found an age. Somebody in here is going.
Oh man. Somebody says Schmeathan says Tobin is a pie cow.
Oh wow.
That's just mean, Schmeathan.
That's mean.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Now, people have mentioned, and maybe this is interesting. Shout out to some of our listeners. Is this a roster clearing move for the Blazers?
To do what?
Yeah. Well, let's say they got to take in multiple players. You know, in a big haul. You know, they're going to get maybe a giant Serbian and a a kid from UCLA with long hair.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
I want Jovic.
That's great. I love him too.
No, you don't.
I love
Jovic. I said Dame, buy Jovic.
Dame Dollar, baby.
Dude,
can I tell you a moment? So we had a moment yesterday. We were walking into the MGM, right?
Yeah.
And I had to my head snapped around because I see I haven't seen any celebrities just walking around, but I said, Leroy, it's Brian Custer. He goes, who?
Yeah.
I said, that's the guy. He did the first Dame interview where Dame said he wanted to come to Miami.
Wow.
Now he was with his family. I didn't want to bother him, but I really want to say, I want to go up like that meme, be like, I want to shake your hand. I want to shake your hand. I wanted to thank him for leaking out there that Damian Lillard wanted to come to the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
I know Waddle, baby Waddle. I know you got to give up stuff.
You got to give to get.
I'm not saying, but I just is it just me or you guys don't care? It's
just been so long.
I think Jovic could be one of them.
He might be. Listen, he might be one of them dudes. He might be.
You got to keep some young talent.
And he's playing with the Serbian national team. They're good.
You got to keep some young talent.
Yep.
Right. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, this is the guys that don't have to. The guys that go all old to win a championship, they go in the tank quicker too.
Itself says you can't have your potato pie and eat it too.
No, I ain't having no potato pie, dude. I will say this though, dude. Marcos, food was delicious last night.
Nice. I'm happy. That's good.
Let me show you about
this. Would you think it would be awkward?
No. Let me tell you about the fraud here.
What?
So we order food, right? I'm trying to be healthy. I get a little sea bass. You know, that's what I love, sea bass. With the little mac and cheese. Get some vegetables.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
But first of all, they were hot. They were asparagus like this thick.
Damn.
And they were hot, spicy. Tobin gets he gets a little a strip steak. They go, would you like the
red wine
glaze? He says, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Been enjoying red wine the entire trip so far.
Not me, not you guys.
Oh, the red wine on the plane was terrible.
Oh, what's
American Airlines plane?
It paired well with that pot roast she was eating.
The pot roast was terrible.
Poor thing, dude.
Yeah. Dates out. The real name for a sea bass is Pantagonian toothfish. I know that's fact.
Definitely not.
And
it is sounding.
It is one of the ugliest animals on planet Earth. I promise you. Do yourself a favor. Go look at a Pantagonian toothfish.
But anyway, do you think that would have been awkward if I just went up to Brian Custer yesterday in the middle of them?
Yes.
And said, I want to shake
I would have walked the other way.
Hey,
dude.
that Dame Dollar interview, Brian. Thank you.
Hey man, you with me? You got we got standards.
I'm gonna thank him before I get out of here. That's gonna be my goal today. I'm gonna look for him around. The weigh-ins going on.
You said he was with his family.
I always keep an eye on him.
I think he looked like he was with his kids.
You see why I always got to keep an eye on him?
That's why I try not to bother. You know, I don't want to bother people with during. So I think I'll see him today on work time. I'll be like, hey, Dame Dollar.
Goosies. So he's to blame actually for your addiction. Now I think about it more than anything.
In a way, but I've loved this addiction, and that's what has me, addicted to the fodder.
Yep.
And I guess locally, I could put Barry Jackson on notification, but Barry tweets about everything. So then I would just be getting notifications.
So now he's mad that he follows somebody that tweets about everything.
Right. It's just too much. It would be too much.
And not just what he wants.
Right. Which is Dame news.
I don't include anybody during camp, and that's in Cleveland, Minnesota, or down here, or in Florida, because they tweet just to tweet.
That's
right. Ooh, so-and-so caught a catch. That's his job.
I don't think the
He's
Dolphins.
a receiver. He's supposed to catch.
I don't think the Dolphins guys are allowed.
Hit me up when he doesn't catch.
I don't think you're allowed to tweet during practice anymore.
No, remember they say that on the thing.
It depends.
When we get credentials.
Yeah, the Dolphins don't allow it. And actually, Mike McDaniel's pretty.
Wow.
He's pretty crazed about like filming stuff and all that. Because like I remember doing that last year where I would go and.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
This is the one thing that used to amaze me about coaches. If Randy Moss is standing across from you and you know what route he's running, what?
Exactly, right? But I was like, I remember being like, they were like, put your cameras down, point them down. They're running team drills. And it was like, Leroy, so far away. And they were doing they were just doing blocking schemes or something like that. I'm like, listen, you can have all the film you want of Eichenberg sucking. It's not going to change.
Like,
it's not going to change.
Let's take advantage of Eichenberg. Like, really? You didn't need a film to see that.
It's not going to change. Speaking of Mike McDaniel, we'll hear from the Dolphins coach. He says on Jalen Ramsey that Jalen Ramsey gave everybody the Goosies, even when he was down. That's next.
We'll have the latest on Jalen Ramsey's injury today.
Mr. Lover. I'm Mr. Lover. Girl. Mr. Lover.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQA. Are you doing a Rubik's Cube, dude? What are you doing?
I'm so cold.
You're funny, man.
What do you mean funny?
Like, you're talking about Werther's, and you're sitting here, like, if the temperature's a little bit off, you're like,
dude, it's cold in this building.
It is not cold, dude. What are you talking about?
First of all, they're blowing enough air to
Do you
air
want me to get you a parka?
Wait, they're blowing enough air in here to air condition Hard Rock
I know.
Stadium.
Well, do you want to know why? Because we're in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's 3 of us in here.
Gotta remember, Leroy is a chronic blanket user.
Yes,
he does love the blankets. He does.
Wait, how cold do you have that free air condition in the room?
Oh, all the way down.
I don't even turn it on.
What?
Yeah.
You're nuts, dude.
It just has the regular like fan on.
Dude, I went over to my window the other day just to like show my son the roller coaster, and the window was like I couldn't even touch it.
It's like a magnifying glass.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. If you guys are just tuning in, Mike McDaniel today addressing the media on Jalen Ramsey. Marcos, do we have the Dolphins head coach? Can you give us the update? Let's hear it straight from the long-winded horse's mouth. And this is what Mike McDaniel had to say on Ramsey.
Yesterday we had a injury with Jalen Ramsey at the end of practice. It was a non-contact injury that was his meniscus, and he is going to be having surgery at 1:00 today. Now, the length of this rehabilitation is kind of dictated on a couple things that could occur in the surgery. So the exact timeline, Barry, is a little to be determined. What I can tell you is I don't think the beginning of the regular season is really a part of the scenario. It's going to be into the season, and how deep that is depends on kind of what happens today. And realistically, with the way the team had practiced, you don't know these kind of things, but.
So there you go. That's Mike McDaniel.
He wasn't done.
Yeah, we have some more from him. But Mike McDaniel discussing the situation. The reports are that this is looking like a December type of thing. We'll know more, I guess, like you said, when the surgery is over. But they're gonna have to go some time without him, man, and it's not great. It was obviously a huge acquisition for them to bring him in. To have him paired up with Xavier Howard, who just none of his counterparts can seem to stay healthy. Not only he wasn't healthy last year, but now you have Byron Jones hurt. Now Jalen Ramsey hurt.
X is probably thinking, damn, I can't never get hurt.
No.
Right? Because he was banged up last year.
No, he played hurt last year.
Right.
Everybody was talking about him being washed because he was getting roasty toasty from time to time. But
you know what I hate about that is that when guys suck it up and go play, we don't call them tough. We evaluate them like they're healthy. And some of the injuries that guys play through is pretty rough. And so you got to put, especially X played all last year with a groin.
Oof.
Come on, man.
Oof. Now apparently the word from Mike McDaniel was after Jalen Ramsey got hurt, he gathered around the locker room and gave a Goosies inducing speech.
Who?
Ramsey.
He just got here.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
This is what Mike McDaniel had to say.
What was the most amazing thing about the whole thing was the way Jalen responded. He spoke to the team yesterday, and it really moved a lot of people. He first let everybody know how much he appreciated this team, how this team has accepted him, and how he has been in the league for a little bit, and how he knows that what we're doing here, in his opinion, is special for his position group not to waver, and exuded all the confidence that he had in that position group. And one of the things that he said that was real cool for everybody was he thought it. He told all of his teammates not to worry, not to feel sorry for him. He's going to whatever timeline the doctors give him. He's going after that timeline and trying to flex that he'll beat it. And that he realistically couldn't be more committed and excited to join the team.
Even he's laughing
again this year, whenever that is. It isn't really up to him, and he knows that. But it was that adversity is not really an issue. It's an opportunity for a lot of guys to really come together and step up. So it was a team moment that was really put together by Jalen, and that's kind of where it stands right now.
What? Dude, do not.
What?
Why are you laughing at that?
What?
Have
Why
you
are
ever
you laughing
had
at
a dream
Which
that you
Which part?
you had you could you do you want you could do so you do you could you
What are you guys doing?
You want him to do you so much you could do anything.
You two are bastards. You're ruining an emotional moment.
No, we're not.
Jalen Ramsey.
Wait, it was an emotional moment 5 minutes ago. He ruined it.
You think his explanation of the speech was longer than the speech?
Yeah, I do actually. I literally do.
You think Jalen Ramsey just said, "Guys, I'm gonna beat this. You got this while I'm gone." That was the speech, and Mike McDaniel's just like,
Dude, wait, like he kept going. I say, yo, Mike, you touched everything. Oh my goodness.
That being said, I mean that is Goosies.
Oh yeah, inspiring. For sure.
Here's what I would say.
Goosies.
That happens more than you think. You just don't get that explanation, right? Depending on who it is.
I mean, Bill Belichick's just like, hey, he told us to go get it,
No, because Bill, the dude's leg could be folded in half, and Bill will say game time decision. Right? So, or the whole team is on the injury report. Tom Brady spent 15 years on the injury report.
Josh says, dude, I always forget the question Mike McDaniel was asked every time. Dude rambles more than my grandpa.
No, I don't know what the question was.
He wasn't a question. He was talking about it. That was literally all. That was all.
They let him willy-nilly into the conversation.
That was literally all the answer for
Here.
where are we at with
Listen.
Jalen Ramsey, and he went on for 4 minutes.
Mike McDaniel, you have to keep focused by asking him questions. Don't have him deviate for the questions. And then when he's done answering your question, get the hell out of there. Or he gonna keep going.
I thought it was great. I like the fact
course
that
you did.
He was letting us inside. He was letting us know. Jalen Ramsey.
What?
Well,
Jalen
Jalen Ramsey is going to beat the timeline according to Jalen Ramsey.
No, dude.
Do you think Jalen Ramsey trash talks his meniscus?
You know what? Can I do my dead to me now?
No.
Because
what is your dead to me?
All coaches who say my guy's a quick healer, they all say that.
Let's be honest though. If anybody's going to trash talk their own injury, it's going to be Jalen Ramsey.
Yep. Call that a meniscus?
You call that white blood cells? You think that's how it's going to heal? What problem?
So you think he's talking trash to his body?
Yes. I don't hear my other meniscus having a problem. Left meniscus.
I picture it more like this. He looked down at his right leg, right knee, left knee.
Yep.
Look down the left knee. You the reason why we've been getting toasted. Wait, could you imagine just in the middle of a game him looking down at his knee?
Dude, I'm bummed. I'm bummed.
Yeah, we're bummed that Jalen Ramsey now. But of here, the defensive scheme and what Vic Fangio is going to do is going to put them as a unit in a better place. And Jalen Ramsey would be able to flourish in that
for sure
because he's familiar with it. And the one thing here's what helps cornerbacks. When you're fully aware of your defense and what you're trying to do and what it enables you to take chances, right? You know, okay, I can jump this route. Oh, I can do this. Or I can do that. I got somebody over the top. And once you get into that groove, when you understand when you can and can't do that, then you get a lot of turnovers. And so that's what Jalen Ramsey would be able to do. But now, whoever Kato Kohu, my nose is running. You know why? Because I'm freezing.
I can't believe you're cold. It's crazy to me.
Yeah. But between Kato Kohu or Cam Smith or who else they have?
Trill Williams coming back.
Trill Williams.
Like, Nick Needham's not all the way back, but
I would say
he's
this.
on his way back.
Those guys have shown something. So it's not like the cupboard is bare when it comes to cornerback.
And then, of course, Marcos' favorite player. Who was that, Marcos?
Noah. Babe, I'm not going to leave.
Dude, can I just tell you? Can I just dude, there's nobody that could think we're Dolphins fans, right?
like we got a lottery award winner as corner, and we got Noah. Babe, I'm not going to leave. Anyone listening is like, these guys don't know anything. Specifically me, I guess.
Wow. Your nose is running because you're 80 years old and old gets sick quickly.
Wow.
Damn, Waddle, baby. Waddle.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, I'm telling you, what Mike McDaniel did with that explanation is ruined something that probably should have gave us the Goosies.
It gave me the Goosies.
We forgot what the topic was.
I didn't forget.
Yes,
I didn't forget.
I did.
I'd rather hear the speech than to hear McDaniel.
Right. Then they explain the speech. I mean, he broke it down in quarters. Beginning, middle, end. It was like a movie setup. They should have been a trailer on him commenting on the movie.
I think Mike McDaniel's an emotional guy. I think that that stuff gets to, he likes seeing moments of adversity. What does he say? Adversity presents opportunity. That's his big thing. So, I think he was trying to also like weave in his catchphrase with Jalen Ramsey's speech, and that's where he got caught up in the air.
The old love getting sick. The old love medicine. The old love butter candy.
The old love ginger.
Yeah, no.
We had some tickled pink yesterday in Las Vegas. Coming on up, we try to tickle Leroy's fancy with the weekend action. That's next.
My fancy is tickled.
Oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? I'm so fancy. You already know I'm in the fast lane. From LA to Tokyo, I'm so fancy.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to tickle Leroy's fancy.
Should I be looking
My
at
fancy is tickled.
No, you shouldn't. Like, stop looking at my computer.
I'm not. We're sitting right next to each other.
Very nosy. Trying to
I'm
look
nosy,
Yeah, you're very nosy.
says the squirrel guy.
Dude, Leroy will comment literally, Marcos. This is the thing that's funny because he's not a Twitter user. So, like, when I'm perusing Twitter, he goes, huh, what's Kenny Anderson's got going on? It's just like
He's like second hand. He's like a backseat
he's
driver
just
for
got
your
to comment on everything.
backseat.
Even the
tweeting.
promoted tweets. He was like commenting on the ads.
That was ads?
That was an ad. I didn't follow that. Yeah.
Oh.
Elon Musk. He's ruining Twitter. It's called X now. It's not even called Twitter.
But are they still tweets?
No, apparently he said they're supposed to be called X's. I'm not calling it that.
Yeah. So what I'm supposed to say, Shams just X'd out that so-and-so is injured? Like, that's how I'm supposed to say it from now on? That's the phrasing?
I guess so. I guess that's the formula, but I'm not doing that. I'm not
the
I'm
worst,
just, you know, the website is the website, and I'm calling it Twitter. I'm not calling
Zuckerberg's
it
going to
X.
kick his ass.
Yeah, I would think so. I think that is what's going to happen, and I hope it does happen. Leroy, you ready to do this thing?
Yep. I'm ready.
All right. First up, Marlins, Tigers, 3-game series at home. They are honoring Miguel Cabrera. We haven't mentioned this today. Marlins making a little trade ski as they went out and they picked up David Robertson from the Mets, their closer. So AJ Puck, you just lost your job. But Marlins, guess what, dude? Buyers, Mets, sellers. How about that? Anyways,
I mean,
your fancy?
Are you a buyer? Doesn't it depend on who you buy?
Got the best reliever on the market.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I am.
All right.
I want to see. They seem like they're turning around. They got over that tough stretch. Let's see if they can put a few together.
Look, I know people
tickled.
are like, oh man, because I saw there was a column today in the Miami Herald. Didn't read it, but I saw a headline. They're like, oh, Miguel Cabrera, the one who never should have gotten traded. Look, it's awful. Obviously, is an awful trade, the worst maybe in baseball history. But that being said, Miguel Cabrera, still probably the best player that's ever played for the Marlins. Incredible hitter. Has his only championship with the Miami Marlins as a baby. I was at his debut. Walk-off shot against the Rays, center field. And
I
think that's
remember when
cool.
my favorite Miguel Cabrera moment was what was in the playoffs? Who was that against? Wood, when he got brushed back and they hit a home
Roger
run.
Clemens.
Oh, it was against Clemens?
Yeah.
And then when he hit a pitch out in right field.
Yeah, but they tried to intentionally
walk him, and he hit the pitch out to right field. I'm like, what?
Yep.
That right there would go down with two other plays: the broken bat home run by Barry Bonds.
Yep.
And the home run in Cleveland Stadium that bounced off of Jose Canseco's head.
Crazy. What? By the way, I mean this Shohei Ohtani. I mean, what he's doing right now.
What'd he do? Like recently, you guys were marveling at him.
He pitched a one-hit shutout.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday, Marcos,
in the first game,
a doubleheader yesterday. Listen to what he did.
Yeah.
He pitched a one-hit shutout in the first game.
Yes.
They won 9-0.
I did hear about that. Yeah.
And then in the second game, he had 2 home runs. Yeah.
This guy is so good.
He's gonna make more money than Mbappe. Right?
It's insane.
It's really good.
I couldn't imagine, like, if the Angels are kind of on a run right now.
He's about to hit 40 home runs again.
I know, and it's not even August yet. So it's crazy. He could be at 40 home runs by the end of August, which is insane. But like, I don't know if he's gonna want to stay with the Angels because it's not like NBA. It's not like restricted free agent. They can offer him more money. It's a free agent. You can go anywhere he wants. But I couldn't imagine being the team. I say this as a person who's talking about Miguel Cabrera. I couldn't imagine being the team that just let Shohei Ohtani leave.
Right.
How? How could you do that?
That's not worse than what the Marlins did with because didn't they trade Miggy?
Yeah, they got nothing.
They got nothing for him, but at least they traded him.
They tried.
It was a bad trade.
Yeah, they tried.
But they got something.
Cameron Maybin.
If
Andrew
you let
Miller.
Shohei Ohtani walk away, just go for nothing.
Yeah. A lot of people think there's, but if you are if you're 3 out of the wild card and you have a player you're never going to have again, and everybody knows you're going to lose, so I don't know what you're going to get. Like, maybe, you do just roll the dice and try and make one playoff run. That's kind of what I want the Marlins to do. I wanted them to just say, hey, screw it. Let's go get Ohtani.
Of course you would.
For a Runsky.
Of course you would.
Wow.
Do you understand that some of your sports takes when it comes to getting players, it's not even reasonable? You realize this, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Your theory behind sports is, I want them.
I really want Damian Lillard on the Heat.
Damian Lillard or Shohei Ohtani?
Damian Lillard.
So if you could have only one.
Because then I get Damian Lillard for more than 1 year.
No. If I could give you Shohei Ohtani for the same amount of time as Dame Lillard.
Ooh. I just get
one
Ohtani.
or the other for the same amount. So save us 3 years.
Damian Lillard. I feel like it guarantees more.
Correct. I can't disagree with that, even though
I had to think about it.
In my lifetime, right? In anybody's lifetime, you need to tell a story of you seeing this man play.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's been nothing
I
like
feel
it.
bad like missing out on that last year. Like, now I'm dying to go see Shohei Ohtani play baseball. I don't know, because the Marlins probably won't get him again for years. I mean, well, unless he goes to the Mets, but then he's going to smoke us. Anyway, point is, you've fancy tickled?
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
I'm excited. I want
My
to see him turn
fancy
around.
is tickled.
Got a new closer. No more what the puck. He's done.
Very happy about that.
We liked him too.
Puck? Yeah, he's a cool dude. He's just
started off.
He's had a really bad
Maybe
month.
is he banged up? Because again, I always go to that. If a guy has been playing a certain way in any sport,
Yeah.
if he's been playing consistent a certain way, there's certain things, and then all of a sudden it just hits a wall.
Yep.
I wonder if something is wrong.
I don't know. Because I don't feel like his stuff's different. I just feel like he's left a couple more meatballs over the plate.
So you're saying he been hanging out with Sandy?
Well, Sandy
you said the same thing about Sandy.
Sandy back on track though.
Well, Sandy, they didn't have a choice. They kept putting Sandy out there. They're not putting AJ Puck out there no more.
All right. Also coming up this weekend, we have a big boxing match. That's true. But also tomorrow night, Leroy, UFC 291. Your boy from Louisiana, Dustin Poirier,
like him,
is taking on Justin Gaethje for the BMF championship. They are bringing that back. Jorge Masvidal is there. He is putting the belt on the winner. He is passing the torch over as the original BMF winner. Does this fight tickle your fancy?
No.
Really?
I like both of these guys. Here's why.
Fancy, not tickled.
With all of the stuff going on in UFC and all the fights that we want to see, you got to invent something? Come on, man. There's so many good fights out there, and you create a belt to try to spark up interest in something that means absolutely nothing.
I really don't need a belt for these guys.
A BMF belt.
I don't
We
need a
got
belt.
world titles out here people fighting for, and you just made up a belt.
I do think like it should have been that Masvidal probably defended the BMF belt throughout his career.
It's not a championship.
It's a cool belt.
They were all badass dudes.
They are. I wonder what
to do
what do you
MMA
think-
and get kicked in the teeth and choked out and stuff like that. You got to be a tough dude.
What do you think?
Now you giving a BMF belt away?
I wonder what means more to Dustin Poirier, because Dustin Poirier has never been undisputed champion. He's won the interim championship because he beat Max Holloway when Khabib was injured, and then they lost to Khabib. So what do you think is going to mean more to Dustin Poirier, the BMF belt or the interim championship? I feel like interim championship. Like, it still looks like the UFC belt.
You still get lit.
I still got a belt.
Let's
at home.
break it down, folks. Let's break it down. If you're interim champ, the next time you fight for UFC, you get the premium dollars.
Yep.
You
that's true.
you are the frontliner on the card.
Yep.
You know what you get for BMF? A attaboy. They ain't paying you extra for BMF. Because I bet you if you say, hey, if we fight for this belt, I need more money. It ain't a real belt, dude.
It is funny, too, because Masvidal is giving out the belt. The last time the BMF belt got given out, it was given out by The Rock. And so Poirier's got to be like, wait a minute. My friend just gives me the belt because they train. He's like, I see him every day. I see him in the American top team.
Right.
I'm actually upset about that.
The BMF belt was that when he fought Diaz.
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
The Rock, by the way, was at MMA Masters this weekend. I don't know what he's doing there. I haven't looked into that, but he was hanging out in Miami and he was at the MMA gym, and I think they're in Hialeah.
He said, Leroy, silly sauce, the BMF belt was cool, though, when The Rock put it on him. I get that.
It was cool.
But here's the deal. If that wasn't Masvidal, we would be talking totally different about this. It's not a real belt. Do you get money for it? Are you fighting for a belt? Is it 5 rounds? And
it
then
is.
you get to, and then do you get the little,
do you get a bump?
Yeah.
I bet you they'll probably get a pay-per-view cut for this. I would
Really?
Yeah, I would think so.
Huh.
I would think so. I may be wrong, but I would think so.
But here's the problem, right? Although I love this fight, right? I love the fight where two tough guys go at it, and you know we love Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, love him.
He's awesome dude, awesome dude. But there's so many fights that need to be had, and we're wasting the UFC on this. You know what I'm saying?
It's a great card. I'm like, you
made up a belt.
I'm gonna try and figure out how.
You know what? Me and you could go outside and we could play for the Heat Index belt. Like, let's just make one up. Championship of the world.
All right, the one I think we're more excited about tomorrow night. Does this tickle your fancy, Leroy? Errol Spence Jr. against Terrence Bud Crawford for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. Showtime pay-per-view live in Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena. We are feet away from T-Mobile Arena right now in a tent that Leroy is freezing in. Does this tickle your fancy, Leroy?
It does. It does. But here's why this fight needs to. We can't have one more day because you changed your mind 8 times.
I didn't change my mind.
And the more you're here, the more information you get, the more you change your mind. So we need this fight to happen so you can just stay. So right now we with Bud.
I'm going Bud.
Okay.
I'm going Bud.
Because early on in the week, maybe it was because we were hungover from the plane and we ain't have no sleep. You was like, oh no.
I didn't know. I was like, I didn't know. And a couple things changed. The press conference changed for me yesterday. I said, and you know what I thought? I said, Bud means business.
Okay.
Like, did you watch yesterday, Marcus? You the clips on social media?
Hey.
I didn't know. I didn't get a chance to.
I'm telling you right now, I watched it. Bud means business. Leroy? Bud means business.
But I'm look.
Bud does mean business.
I get it. But can I just say this?
Yeah.
Spence looked like he put together real good.
He is.
He is.
Never lost.
Never lost.
Didn't even lose to a car. Guy walked away basically unscathed from the craziest accident I've ever seen.
Dude, that car was folded up like, you know, the aluminum like gun, not the gum wrappers. Like when you ball them up, that's what that car looked like. And he walked away.
Crazy.
Here's like you're better at this. I'm not a what a guy looks like going 3 days before the fight. He means business, right? Ooh, Tobin goes to the weigh-in and the face-off. Ooh, I saw that face-off. Oh, no. Oh, I saw something. No, you are a horseman. That's what people do. They go stand down by the paddock. They watch the horses walk out.
Yep.
And they determine, oh, no, sweating too much. Oh, look, oh, he looks good.
Yep.
No. Like, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. I think, look, the only thing that I will buy in this fight between these two fighters is basically Bud got more of a bag. Like,
more of a bag.
He can go so many different ways. Spence is more of a methodical, skilled boxer that's going to do things. You pretty much know how he's going to fight the fight previous, before the fight happens. He's going to be the best version of him. You don't know who Bud's going to be because he could do a number of different things as far as a gameplay.
Yep.
So that if I'm Spence, that terrifies me because you have no idea which Bud you're going to face.
Right.
But that doesn't take away from the talent of Errol Spence.
It doesn't. And that's like that did lead to my dilemma. But then I saw yesterday, and Bud means business. And Freddie Roach.
Now, I'm going to tell you what. When you talk to the experts, they can sell you now.
He sold me.
They start breaking it down, and if Teddy was here, Teddy would give you visuals. You got to put them hands up, right? He gives you visuals.
I could probably get him on with us next week. We'll talk to him. We'll get his thoughts on the fight afterwards.
But
he won't be here to talk. He won't be here to hold you, though. That's normally his move.
That's his move.
I
don't know why. I've known him for a long time, right? And every time he interviews, it looks like he want to fight me, right? I'm very excited about this fight for all the reasons why you're confused as to what could happen in the fight, right? Or the things that intrigue me. Here's where you know how I'm intrigued by the fight. I'm not betting 2 cents on it because I think it's that close.
It's gonna be a good card. I gotta say,
and so if I bite, you know what? What if I bet on the draw?
Dude, I was talking to my buddy Jim yesterday, and he goes, "I think I'm gonna throw something on the draw. It's 14-1."
Right?
Oh, 14-1. Yeah.
It's not fun to root for.
Yeah,
but it's a good payoff.
It's a good payoff.
It's a good payoff.
Though,
I got a little couple of extras.
Because think about it, Marcos. All you need is one guy to think it's a draw and 2 other guys to think it's a win for the other guy. And boxing judging, it's fugazi. And there's already a rematch. Some shenanigans could go down. So if you just have one guy say it's a draw, you could have 2 guys say it's a draw, majority draw. But if you have a split draw, that could also happen. It's not bad. It's not bad to just throw a little change on a draw.
Hey, I got a little extra in my bag. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Nice.
Now that being said,
Leroy's gonna be the only guy. We're gonna be all like, we want the undisputed champion of the world, and we don't get a decision because everybody just keeps their belts.
Yeah!
Wait. You'll just hear one guy in the upper deck who's just like, yeah.
Marcos, you should have seen me acting a fool with Conor McGregor and Mayweather, right? I had my ticket. I had the exact round, how it was going to end, and oh my goodness. But I'm going to do it. You know what? I'm not going to go full. No, you know what? I got a little extra, from last night's action. Pie Guy money. I'm going to put 1 Benjamin on a draw.
I like it.
That would be all. And then, because guess what? I go Dolphins. I bet the Browns, the Vikings, $20. Just something to have a little action going the season. So I could I even put the ticket at my house and just put it in a frame. Look who I got to win the Super Bowl or whatever, win the division or what have you, right? Fun bets.
Dade South says, look, what does this even mean? Tobin looks like he could fall for a good infomercial. I will say,
somebody say I'm gonna go full Leroy Jenkins.
Kane's, remember Kane's games on the ACC network? How all the commercials were just infomercials. So you'd be like, Irish potato peeler.
Hey, nowadays your kids get mad when a commercial shows up, right? Like what? Commercial?
All right, we'll take a quick break. Some crazy trash talk going on in the NFL I want to get to. That's next.
There was a
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. We are in Las Vegas for Errol Spence. Terrence Crawford, the undisputed welterweight championship of the world, is on the line tomorrow night, live on Showtime, pay-per-view. Leroy and I excited to be in the building for that one, as these two guys, two of the best on the planet, going at it. And this one's been a few years in the making. They're finally going to get it on. Today is the weigh-in, and Bud means business.
I'm going to put.
You're really going to root on a tie? What are you?
I'm not rooting for it.
Well, how are you not?
So, what if I do this? If I pick a fighter, and then do the draw, so
a little sprinkle over here, sprinkle over there, a little safety net.
Because I could the only way I could actually lose money is if the other guy wins.
Yes.
Right.
All right.
So if I had to put 125? No, he's minus 125.
Yeah, I think so.
So 125 to
I'll
put
get
100,
some updated sheets,
and then I'll put 100 on the draw.
Let's get to some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
So I wanted to get to this. Do you have something?
No.
Okay.
I'm waiting to see what you will.
Sean Payton.
Oh,
did you see this?
Yes. Dude, I've never seen anything like this before in my life, but I like it. Because normally coaches softball it.
Yeah.
So they gingerly go into the situation that they took over, right? But Sean Payton get $10 million a year. He don't give a damn.
So
he just came in hot.
Sean Payton. Marcus, did you see this?
I did. And again, just like Leroy said, I like that it was like legit. He didn't pull any punches at all.
Well, yeah, because guess what? If you come into a situation, but here's what he did, okay? Because everybody figures that Sean Payton gonna come in and fix Russel Wilson, fix that offense, and they're gonna be better because they got a pretty good defense.
Yeah. Well,
right?
Russell Wilson stunk last year.
Right.
I don't think
He
anybody.
was terrible.
I mean, like that guy's stock. I don't think I've seen a guy's stock drop like that ever for an established career like he had.
But here's the deal. Let's not think like he fixes guys. Drew Brees was not a bad quarterback when he went to New Orleans.
Right.
So to make it sound like, he fixed up. Drew Brees was good when he got to New Orleans. He was just hurt. So different situation. Russell Wilson had a terrible year.
Terrible year. Seemed like his teammates hated him.
A lot of times
called out of shape.
A lot of times coaches come in and they throw the softballs, there's a lot of things we got to do a little differently, and the team is picking up on it. And, it's going to take some time. It's a process. They all come on with that.
Well, it's pretty well. Listen, what happened last year is pretty rare. Like usually a guy gets a couple years. Nathaniel Hackett getting bounced in a year.
Right.
That's not very common.
No, agree. It's not, but just think about this. How bad was the job that you couldn't even make it through your first year?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Sean Payton said yesterday, there's so much dirt around that. There's 20 dirty hands for what was allowed. Tolerated in the freaking training rooms, the meeting rooms, the offense. I don't know, Hackett. A lot of people had dirt on their hands. It wasn't just Russell. He didn't just flip. He still has it. This BS that he's hit a wall, shoot, they couldn't get a play in. They were 29th in the league in pre-snap penalties on both sides of the ball. I mean,
nice.
But these are facts. These are facts. So when he comes in as a new coach, before you even talk about X's and O's, you got to fix the whole process. So think about this. You a new coach or you a new manager of a building or whatever. And your job is to produce, right? Your job is to.
He said this to USA Today, by the way, I should say.
Your job is to come in and make everybody more productive. Before you even start working on production, you got to fix the schematics of the whole thing. Imagine being that coach. So before you even talk about what play, you got to make damn sure everybody gets to play in on time. That's crazy. But all that being said, nobody's ever said anything about it. They just kind of go around and say we got a lot of work to do.
Coaches are usually very, very PC.
Correct.
I mean, they're very PC.
Correct.
I think that's part of the reason we like Mike McDaniel. Now, he's usually overly positive.
Come on, dude.
And is an oversharer possibly at times. But, like,
if after what Mike McDaniel said about Jalen Ramsey, if somebody would have asked him, what question were you answering? He wouldn't know.
Perhaps.
Right.
Perhaps. I think the question was just, how is Jalen Ramsey?
I think he doesn't. Mike McDaniel slows down when everybody's in the crowd like this. And then he stops.
USA Today writes, yet another layer of the Wilson saga involved the kid glove handling he received from Hackett, which was fueled by much speculation and criticism as the season spiraled out of control. Wilson has employed a support staff for years, which includes a personal athletic trainer, a strength and conditioning coach, and a massage therapist. Yet boundaries were apparently blurred when by the presence of Wilson's personal quarterback coach, Jake Heaps, excuse me. Not anymore. When Payton was hired in February, he made it clear that none of Wilson's team would have access to the team facilities. Quote, that wasn't his fault. That was the parents who allowed it. That's not an incrimination on him. It's an incrimination on the head coach, the GM, the president, everybody else who watched it all happen.
Wow. So wait, he holds the guys down that. Wait. He holds down are they still with the team? The president and the
I
GM?
don't know.
Because I'm going to say you just holds down the guys who hired you.
I think he's the GM now, isn't he?
I don't know.
Now a quarterback having an office and a place to watch film is normal, but all those things get magnified when you're losing the other stuff. I've never heard of it. We're not doing that.
Agreed.
By the way, he also hosed down the Jets, who have Nathaniel Hackett now. He is their OC.
Wait, he goes, you'll see.
Yeah.
Well, but me, I've already if you look into and here's what you need to do. And it's not that I'm going to trash the Jets or whatever, because you do have an excellent defense. You do have a Hall of Fame quarterback, right? And you're going to have an excellent Pro Bowl running back by 2 o'clock. But here's the thing, is that, and we do this, we pick and choose when to do this, whether we give them credit for winning games or not. I don't think they beat one winning a team with a winning record.
The Broncos last year?
No.
Or the Jets?
The Jets.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
So while we talk about how many games they won.
Well, they did beat the Dolphins once.
Okay. There you go. But while we talking about how this big leap that the Jets are going to take, let's keep in mind last year they didn't beat anybody.
And that being said, they beat the Dolphins with Skylar Thompson's first start because Teddy Bridgewater apparently wobbled too much.
There you go.
So his father was like, no.
So put it this way.
Shenanigans on that game, dude.
They didn't beat a quality quarterback.
No.
Okay. So while we sitting here having conversations about who the Jets are going to be and what they did and whatever, go look at what Aaron Rodgers has done the last few years and how most of the time they want to put it on somebody else, but it was on him. And then look at what the Jets did. So for them to all of a sudden say, oh, they're contenders? No.
That being said, I don't think Sean Payton's fixing Russell Wilson.
I think he is.
Really? You think they're going to be decent?
He's that good. Because one of the things that Sean Payton does is, here's going to be the hardest thing to do for Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has been a guy who holds the ball too damn long.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Sean Payton runs an offense that gets the ball out of the quarterback's hands.
Mm.
And so Russell Wilson can throw the ball. He makes good decisions. It'll just be a matter of getting that all together. He's going to be better.
Isn't that hard to do with an older quarterback, though? Like, if he's been
the ball quicker?
Yeah, because if he's been doing it, like we all know, let Russ cook, go around there, kind of improv. Like that's kind of his secret sauce. Always usually down a touchdown, red zone special.
No, because here's the deal. When you actually watch the games and watch him play, a lot of the routes are conducive to what you want the quarterback to do with the ball. So if you notice in Seattle, they had a lot of down the field stuff.
Seattle.
They would just tell Russ, hey, keep it alive, make a play, right? When he got to Denver, nobody knew what the hell they were doing. And that's part of what Sean Payton was saying about Hackett, is that there was no rhyme or reason why things were done or whatever. So now you're going to have a focus on running a certain style offense, doing things a certain way. When you get rid of the ball quicker, the read's going to be quicker, the routes are going to be different, and it all kind of ties in. So he's been a good enough quarterback that he can acclimate himself to that.
Waddle Baby Waddle says Sean Payton overrated, been riding an onside kick in the Super Bowl for 15 years and making people think he's a good coach.
Actually,
hey, listen, dude, that was onions.
They won the Super Bowl, but what he is known for more is what he did with that offense.
Of course,
he did a lot of unique things. First of all, he was one of the first guys to take and put his best receiver in the slot.
Yep.
And that guy was always they always had a giant receiver in the slot.
I think it was kind of like, it was a little bit of like what Jalen Ramsey did to the young cornerbacks the other day, where he was like, oh, it's so cute. You know, they reach out to me for help. And Sean Payton's kind of like little brothering, like Nathaniel Hackett, kind of probably the
little brothering.
Yeah.
That
dude.
ain't little brother.
Well, he hosed him down good, but he's like, listen, you're 29th in pre-snap. Remember, the Dolphins were bad at pre-snap penalties last year too. Had the problems getting the plays in.
Really? It seemed like there was a sense of urgency.
There was that one, but no, that was a huge. Now, listen, obviously not having Tua, that hurt that.
Right. So let's look. See, and here's what I like to get you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the whole story.
I did.
No, you did.
I just did.
You said they had a lot of pre-stop
They were
to
last.
make your point, and then you turn around and say, "Oh, but that was when Tua wasn't there."
I gave that is giving me the whole. That is giving the whole story.
All right.
That being said, do you sometimes picture Mike McDaniel meandering a play call like he does on a press conference?
Usually play callers are very definitive.
Doesn't it get cut off after a certain
here's
point
what
too?
here's what I picture Mike doing. Right? And we get a playbook. You guys like that waggle?
Yes.
Like,
Mike, what are we doing?
Mike, we got 20 seconds left, and they're not even out of the huddle.
Not sure
All
if
right,
this
run
is a waggle or a wiggle situation. Sometimes, you think, and then the mic gets cut off as he's walking to the line. I don't know the play, Mike.
Take a quick break. We're back with more. We are in Las Vegas live at Radio Row for Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. Showtime pay-per-view coming up tomorrow night. Back after this.
We'll have the latest on Jalen.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Tobin and Leroy here with you in Las Vegas for Errol Spence against Terrence Crawford for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. It is live on Showtime pay-per-view tomorrow night. Appreciate Showtime having us out here. Appreciate the New York putting us up. I like that New York. It's got a vibe to it. It's got a vibe to it.
You guys getting hyped?
I will. Leroy did give double middle fingers to the Excalibur as we walked in. As we drove in.
Hey, that's a bum ass hotel. I'm not gonna lie.
Leroy got so sick. He got so sick.
I've never been that sick in my life.
That was crazy. It might have been OG COVID, like way back in the day. That was like 2018.
Yeah,
it was something. So yeah, man, looking forward to this fight tomorrow night. You think Dame Dollar will be in the building?
Ooh,
yeah.
He loves boxing. Loves boxing.
Big fight.
Think I can tell him to give us an exclusive, make a stink?
I'd be willing to say that if we ran into him, that
we can make that happen.
Yeah.
Hey, Dame. MAS. He goes, "What's that?" Make a stink.
Make a stink, baby.
Make a stink, baby. A couple people have weighed in on Damian Lillard recently, Marcus. I don't know if you saw this. Did you see Julius Erving did an interview recently?
No, I did not. Dr.J, what did he say?
He did an interview with Joy D'Angela, who does some NBA work, and she got to sit down with the legend and was asked about, some of these guys, because he had a problem with a lot of the super teams coming together, right?
Yeah.
He's like, he thinks it's kind of messed with some of the parity, but was asked specifically about Damian Lillard. And he goes, well, wherever he goes, he'll probably finish his career because of his age and the fact that he's played 12, 13 years. And he wants to have a chance to win a championship. And he doesn't think it's there. So I think that's a good reason. So doesn't have a problem with Damian Lillard doing it. He's given a lot of good years to the Portland Trailblazers, which was interesting because in the same interview, he hosed down Kevin Durant.
What?
Hosed him down. He goes, It's not like he's doing it at 26, 27. Look how many times Durant has hopped around. No, for real. OKC to Golden State. Where did he go after that? And now he's in Phoenix. And then Joy asked him if he respects what Kevin Durant has done. And he just looks at her and just shakes his head in disapproval. Just shakes his head.
Yikes.
I mean, wow. I like that.
Look, obviously that's the opinion of a lot of the older basketball players, but I don't think this is just like his perspective kind of thing. I think unanimously Kevin Durant is kind of seen like I don't know, man, like a ring chaser.
He here. I mean, like he's
Can I just say this? Here's what bothers me about this. We can't have it both ways. You can't hold a guy not having a ring against him and then say he's a fraud for chasing a ring. Like, you can't have it both ways. Like, I think you can. Are we gonna say, because
he has rings?
Let me ask you this. If Damian Lillard were to stay in Portland and play out his days in Portland, we would hold not having the championship against him. We wouldn't call out his loyalty. We wouldn't do it. So now we're going to complain about how guys go and get that ring?
Well, the thing I find...
Because time is going to prove this. In 20 years from now, all they're going to say is KD got 2 championships.
Well, I think that's the thing I find interesting about it, though, is like, Kevin Durant, did do the thing where he hopped over to Golden State. And he had a good team in OKC. I mean, OKC was really good. Obviously made a big mistake in trading away James Harden and keeping Serge Ibaka. I mean, that was not a smart decision on their part. They probably should have just kept that core 3 together. But it's interesting that he doesn't have a problem because essentially I don't know if he just doesn't look at Jimmy Butler and joining Bam as joining a super team because, their pundits will look at them more as like around the 15 range as opposed to he's joining a top 5 guy.
Right.
But it's still a team that's been to the conference finals 3 out of the last 4 years with those 2 guys at the helm, and you're adding Damian Lillard to it. So I guess, he's slicing thin there on what a super team is, but I think it's also just he has respect that he did stick it out. Like he stuck. I mean, you've stuck it. That's the thing that's crazy. He stuck it out for more than a decade there.
Yeah, but still, like you're doing the thing again.
What am I doing? What am I doing?
He's trying to justify because Dame's coming to Miami.
I'm not justifying anything.
But you're trying. But I could do the same thing with a different player, and your mindset would be totally different about it.
I don't think so. I don't have a problem with guys forcing their way out.
I don't like it. To me, it's, and I've always felt this way. If a guy says I want to win a championship and I can't do it here, you can say he's not loyal, but you can't then turn around and hold it against him that he doesn't have a championship.
I just think the
and people do that.
The thing that's crazy with Dame is he never said he didn't want to play in Portland.
Right. He said Portland let him down, and everybody else agrees with him.
Yeah, like that's the thing that's wild to me. And I think that's probably why it's looked upon differently than a KD thing is.
Right.
I think that's probably what goes on there. So there's that. D Wade also is weighed in on the Damian Lillard saga of Marcos. I don't know if you saw this. D Wade strangely did an interview with SI Celtics writer, which I found weird, but whatever. The guy Bob Kravitsky, that sounds like a Celtics writer. Hey, this is a Bobby Kravitsky. Dwayne, you're not better than Paul Pierce. Let's just be honest. You're not. He says, looking at the present NBA landscape here, Damian Lillard is reportedly about to meet with the Trailblazers. What would you tell Lillard about spending his whole career in one place and giving himself a better chance to win a championship? And he says, I don't know. I need to tell Dame that's his career. He has a vision for what he wants to do and try to accomplish. Dame has been trying to accomplish his career the way that he wants to go see it. He has been wanting to see it go on in Portland, and that's why he's there, and that's why he's been there. There's always going to be talk about what someone should do, like Kevin Garnett should do this or LeBron should do this. Damian has to do what Dame wants to do and understand that he gets one of these careers. You get one shot at this, and how he wants to see it go and how he wants to see it, what goes next. I don't know, in 5 years to 10 years or how much longer he's got. I don't even know what year he's in. And that's something that we all have to wait and see. Everybody has to respect whatever his decision is, and whether you like it or not, respect that decision will be all Dame wants for his career and no one else's. But basically, he's saying
it's very easy to respect Dame because of the person he's been.
Right.
But if you don't like the guy, then we view the same act totally different.
I don't think so.
This is our show.
Yeah.
That you pick and choose when to use your hot takes. And then if I present them to somebody you like, you always say it's different. We've been fighting about this for 7 years.
One of the things I don't like about you in this situation is that you like to paint things with a broad brush.
Can I say this?
No. I want to say this. You like to paint things with a broad brush, which is noble. Everybody needs to paint a mural in Woodwood. I like to take a finer brush, a finer tune thing to my art.
What it's called?
And that's how I roll.
You know what it's called with me? Consistency. You're willy-nilly. Oh, I like him. I can give him
That's not true.
Tobin.
What?
Stop lying to these people.
I'm not lying.
Dude, you are willy-nilly with your
I am not willy-nilly with my takes. Damian Lillard deserves to do. Is Damian Lillard coming to fight tomorrow?
We can have a whole show of you saying with guys that are now playing in Miami that you never wanted them. Is this not accurate?
You trust this loyalty from Damian Lillard? Who wants Damian Lillard on the Miami Heat? Not me, not Tobin.
I was really hoping that was going to work that day, that reverse jinx.
The reverse? Now, look, here's the wiggle room. Semantic Samurai, he's called this something different. Oh, I was just saying that to try to get Dave.
I literally was. I really want him here bad.
You got time, dude.
I know, but I want it now.
So no, I'm consistent.
I want to see.
But see,
I want to see Damian Lillard ringside. I want to present him with his Heat jersey.
You put yourself out there, right?
Yep.
Like I don't.
Yeah, I know.
But
that's
why people think you're a fraud.
No, people don't think that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people don't think I'm a fraud. In fact,
the Monet of hot takes.
Fraud.
People look at me and
here's one. Oyster Burns, not a ring hunter. He hunts shellfish, clams, oysters, and sometimes scallops.
Take a break. Back after this.
Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, Marcos.
I feel like that's the appropriate way to greet you every time we see you now.
I know.
I was hobnobbing.
Hobnobbing, huh?
With our boy Martin.
Martin.
By the way, we got a shout out. He's the guy who got us out here.
Friend of the show.
He's our boy, and we were just talking about it. I was just badgering, honestly, J-Fig. I was badgering the Showtime publicists, but the Showtime basketball publicists to find out if Dame Dollar was coming, and nobody would give me a straight answer. No. Which makes me think he's going to be here, which means I can get my exclusive to see if he can make a stink.
Nice. Yeah, I felt like they would have said no. Had it been like a definite no, they would have.
I got like I don't know if I trust to tell this guy yes, which is the look I get a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, what is it with, I'm a respectable media member, and I don't know what it is with me where, people look at me and they don't want to give me all the facts. And I don't know why. I feel like I'm a lockbox, Don't you look at me and say, that guy can keep a secret.
Actually, not even a little bit.
Why, dude?
A little bit, dude.
I feel like I'm a good secret keeper.
Yeah.
And if I knew that Dame Lillard was going to be here and I could, give him a Heat jersey, that, we'd keep it under wraps. I wouldn't bother anybody.
How many secrets have you kept?
Yeah.
Oh, so many secrets, J-Fig.
So many? Okay. You know what? Then I believe you.
I don't know.
So, like, I don't understand what the problem is. I feel like, I feel like I'm a lockbox, and yet I get this look from people like very squirrely. They don't trust me. What is that? Leroy, I don't understand. Why won't anybody give me a straight answer around here?
I don't know. I think they know your history.
Why am I not trusted with? I feel like I should be trusted with secrets.
Are they allowing you in the weigh-in?
Am I allowed? Yeah, I could go if I wanted to.
Well, I'm just saying.
He's not going to be here though. He would be here. This is what I was given. Well, if he was going to be here, which I will not confirm with you, then he would be here tomorrow. And I'm like,
so that was the response?
You know why? Here's why. I'm going to tell you why you don't give your ass any information.
Why?
Because you're a stalker.
I'm not, dude.
A stalker.
Listen.
Why? Just because I wanted to shake Brian Custer's hand?
Here's Dame coming in to just watch the fight. Okay. And here's Tobin.
Getting behind the curtain. But you got to do the whale sounds too.
Great. This is great.
Dame Dollar.
Martin's looking over like, what the hell is going on over there?
He goes, why did I let these guys here? Why did I let these guys here?
That kind of reminds me of a moment in time where you were also a stalker.
That has not come in here.
Hey, we're in that same shirt.
It's not. Oh my goodness! Look at that's it. That's the look. That's why people don't give information.
It's ridiculous.
Wait. It literally looks like the person next to you farted.
Dude, I can tell you right now.
It does.
Look of disgust.
If I was given that information, I would not spill the beans.
You are out of your mind. First of all, wait, because see, Tobin thinks he's creative. So the first thing he would do is a cryptic tweet. Right? He would do a cryptic tweet.
It would be a whale with a watch.
Right.
A whale emoji, watch emoji.
I'm telling you, dude.
And then googly eyes.
And I'm like, the views of this show do not reflect what Leroy is thinking. I'm just like, dude, I'm telling you, you can't be given the keys to nothing.
Interesting.
They're probably just scared he's going to cause a kerfuffle.
Oh.
They did tell me Paul Pierce was going to be here. I'm like, I don't care about that.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Oh, my God. If Paul Pierce walked in on Radio Row right now.
Right. Everybody's like, who was he looking at in that picture? Dude,
Mike McDaniel?
He went in the creepy mode.
I did spend a lot of time staring at Mike McDaniel. I shouldn't have done that. That being said, I'm fascinated by him.
By who?
Mike McDaniel.
That's not fascination, dude.
What?
That's obsession.
We just heard it. We just heard a clip of him where by the time he was done, we forgot the question that was asked.
Come on, let's go, Dalvin.
What?
Exactly. And that's amazing coming from him, right? What? Because we say that every time he talks.
He has done that a couple times, actually, where he's like, what was the question?
Yeah.
He goes off on a tandem. I appreciate that from him. No problem.
Look, that makes a tangent look bad. What he goes off on.
One guy in the UFC was 2.5 pounds over the flyweight limit. They had to bring out the nude curtain. That's got to be a.
Wait, can I just say this, folks? I've had to weigh in before. Okay, draws weigh 6 ounces. Right? If a guy is 3 pounds over, and then he get naked and stand on the scale, he lying. Because when's the last time any of you wore a pair of 3-pound draws? It wasn't put on you to make you sink to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, like the only thing that are 3 pounds are like those fur trunks that Errol Spence was wearing.
They're not 3 pounds.
They look 3 pounds.
It's crazy.
Dade's house is the Showtime people like, isn't that the guy who set fire to his own garage?
Point for.
It was a close set. It was a close set.
It was a close set, dude. And I'm just telling you right now.
Hey, wait a minute. Say, quit raiding every hotel buffet and leave some for the other damn guests. That's not me.
Oh, man. Leroy was fat shaming.
Wait, is it even open right now?
Oh, God.
No. Ooh, no, it wasn't.
Dude, yes, you were. Come guys behind you playing Pie Gow, and he goes, excuse me, sir, where's the buffet? And you're like, oh, not a surprise. He was looking Chunky 52. Dude.
Leroy.
No.
Cross-country
He looked like
with
he was
insults.
putting that buffet out of business. I ain't lying.
He did.
Was I lying? He was.
That guy looked like he was ready to go wreck
look,
shop.
He was serious. Where's the buffet?
And that dude knew, because you know what? You want to get a buffet in on a Thursday because that price gets jacked up on a Friday.
I was going to say. it's
Let me
expensive
tell you.
now.
We went like we were staying here. We were staying here when we went, right?
It was the MGM.
It was the MGM. We went to the buffet like the first 3 days we were here. Wednesday and Thursday. Went to the buffet for breakfast because we, started late. Our show started later. Friday, we went to the same buffet. It was $25 more for the same food. That weekend buffet does not play. I'm like, wow, we might as well order room service.
You guys had any special dinner plans for tonight?
Yes.
Trying to do meat happy hour.
Meat happy hour, herbs and rye.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
Look, if you
and then we have.
What else are you going to be doing?
Huh?
What else are you going to be doing?
You gonna go to that
What
cabana?
else are we gonna be doing? Nothing. I'm gonna go golfing with my buddies in Vegas, and then chill. Really not, because like it's weird because you try and relax, but when you're in Vegas, you always tired. Like, because even so, well, I don't know what it is. Dinner was good. We had a couple of drinks. I don't know how we had a whole hour conversation about Shohei Ohtani. It was
Shohei Ohtani, dude.
Like, so we just
that guy's good.
We sitting there. First of all, the food came quicker than any restaurant I've ever been in my life. We ordered a drink. We got the drink. The food came before we were done with the drink. Yes, it was amazing. So then we say, okay, but let's go, I'm gonna hit the table a little bit, wait for our guys that we met from Michigan that live in Fort Myers. And so we went and played a little bit. And then I say, man, I want a daiquiri. So J-Fig.
Tickled pink?
Yeah.
Tickled pink, dude.
Listen. Not my manliest thing I've ever done, but I'm gonna say this.
It was good.
It was delicious.
Delicious, dude.
Oh, and then
pink lemonade and vodka.
And Toby goes at everything 100%.
Was it big?
So,
oh yeah,
souvenir cup.
Souvenir cup.
We can go back.
Love that.
Oh wait, so Tobin goes at everything like he's gonna miss something if you don't hurry up and finish. So I'm looking behind me while I'm playing at the table, and he's damn near on a knee because he drank it so fast he got brain freeze. And I'm just looking at him. He can't stop though.
My face was like, malfunctioning. It was so bad. It really was.
It was. I mean, he couldn't stop.
It was delightful.
He finished his, and I drank a quarter of mine. Your food should never be ready before you drink. Red flag. It was good. No, it came like almost as the first drink was done.
Well, what happened was Leroy got his first drink, and it came in a very fancy cup.
Like it came in like a martini glass. I was like, I can't do this.
But it wasn't even a martini glass because like a martini glass has a certain look. This almost had like, it almost like had a chandelier base, dude, but like it like and like coiffed out like a almost like a goblet, but like a dainty goblet.
Yes,
you know. And I'm like, wow, very fancy.
So how much liquid was actually in that cup?
That's a good question.
Enough,
but not one that, you know, when you drink that, you want it like in the whiskey cup with a big ice cube.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that big ice cube, that one ice cube.
You guys should have taken
that means you official.
Your pinkety drinkety.
How you gonna bring snacks up in here and they gonna offer us none? Oh, I'm sorry, we on the radio. Sorry, I'm yelling at somebody. I'm sorry, I'm hungry. I apologize. He over here.
So you guys didn't bring any snacks for today?
No. Where are you gonna get them? Everything's closed.
It's a closed set.
Closed set.
But you had enough time yesterday.
No,
but there's
what do you do? Get snacks for tomorrow? Who does that?
That's what you were gonna do. You literally said that.
Now everybody offer me snacks.
Take a quick break. Final hour of the show coming on up. We are live here from Las Vegas. Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. Back after this.
WQAM broadcast.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. We are live from Radio Row as we have Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford live on Showtime pay-per-view. I believe we're going to talk to the former champ, Keith One-Time Thurman's going to come on in about 15 minutes.
Ooh. Man, you know, when he fought Pacquiao, I was all over him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lasted about
great fight.
All my joy lasted for about 1.5 minutes when he hit the canvas.
Yeah, but he fought back hard in that fight.
He did. It's hard to deal with Manny Pacquiao because he's so active, and he put you in a position where you're always on defense.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and he's so sneaky with it.
Yeah,
so sneaky with that power. So we'll talk to Keith Thurman coming on up. Let's get some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
The practice has wrapped up for the Dolphins today as they today the reports are, Leroy, dominant day for the defense, that people feel like Jalen Ramsey rallied the defense with his message today, and they responded. This has been an offensive camp so far. By so far, I mean 2 days. And Jalen Ramsey's speech has rallied the team, and the defense responded.
So now we got a Rudy situation after day 2 of camp?
What's third?
What's wrong with you?
Well, that's what they're saying.
Who's they?
I think Bradley Chubb said it. Let's see. Yes. Bradley Chubb said the Dolphins wanted to put together a statement practice after losing Jalen Ramsey. 12 sacks, Leroy, non-pads. 12 sacks today.
Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me.
Why?
I'm not acknowledging 12 sacks with no pads on.
Why?
What y'all doing? I'm not talking to him no more.
I don't understand this. I'm just reporting. We're reporting the headlines, the news. I don't understand why this is a problem.
Here's what I'm doing. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm stopping the next stuff that comes after it out of your mouth.
Huh.
See what I'm saying?
What is the next thing that comes out of my mouth?
Goosies.
I didn't say Goosies.
You were. It was great. It was building up to that.
Dude, I'm not a Goosies floozy, okay? I'm not just sitting here throwing out Goosies willy-nilly.
You're loose with the Goosies.
Bradley Chubb says it. If you want to disparage what Chubba Dub says, that's fine. That's on you.
I am.
Okay, fine.
You know why?
Why?
Because there ain't no such thing as 12 sacks with no pads and no game. No such thing. Clowns. Why y'all falling for that? Look, now I will say this. That when a guy goes down like that, the first thing a lot of the older guys do is go to the younger guys and say, look, this is your opportunity. Don't screw it up.
Yes.
So the guys that are filling in for him may have a little pick-me-up or what have you, right? Everybody may understand we got to pick up the slack a little bit, right? But that's a normal football thing. We have enough.
Right.
But
well, you know what they say.
Giving up 12 sacks with no pads?
You know what they say.
No.
Pick up the slack and get a sack.
You haven't heard that before, Leroy? That's not
something
It's not something people say. All right.
-1.
For 7 years.
Want to confirm?
For 7 years. You know what I've been trying to figure out?
No.
Who the hell is they? They always say a lot of stuff to me, but they never have a name.
Yeah.
This guy.
They say a lot. Call Tobin a lot.
The only thing he'll use is the old. The old like this. The old don't like that.
D. Matthews says Tobin needs a new Twitter that's called Goose Muse instead of Stat Muse.
Yes.
This is high on the Goosies rating.
Goosies galore.
That's kind of my Twitter
Dr.
account.
Toboggan said they never said that.
Yeah, they said that, dude.
And he also has a way of reading into stuff where there's nothing to read into.
I mean, but I'm not just making this up. They said it. If
Who's they?
Bradley Chubb. So if Chubb says it, why am I?
Because here, do you not understand? If I may, you know what playing to the crowd is?
Yeah, they call it the Hulk Hogan.
Right.
cup the ear.
You don't think they do that in pressers?
I never thought about it like that. Some do. Some know how to work the media. Some, don't care about that stuff.
What's wrong with you?
I'm just being me, man. I don't understand. Like, you act like I'm out here just making stuff up. If they're out here
Really?
and they're claiming that.
You don't even realize how loud you snore. Why would I come on?
You keep doing this, and you know what? You know something, dude? It's not right because you're painting a picture that's not true.
He was only asleep for 5 minutes, Leroy.
I really was. It was a cat nap, dude.
But wait, Marcos?
Yeah.
When the show started yesterday, he was asleep for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
By the time the show was over, he was asleep for 12 seconds.
It was a cat nap, dude.
A cat nap?
He switched his percentage by the end.
It was a cat.
It was only 10%.
A mountain lion.
The Marlins, by the way, making a move yesterday. Traded a couple minor leaguers, for David Robertson, Mets closer. So
You never trade player for player. It's always like
some prospects.
rare prospects.
Yeah. The rare is the Luis Ariz Pablo Lopez trade.
It works out for both teams.
Worked out for both teams.
Yeah,
Has a
Pablo's playing
prospect
well.
trade ever worked? Has anyone ever traded for prospects and then that prospect ended up doing something?
I mean, the Marlins, the one that
Didn't
worked
they
out.
trade for Yelich?
No, they drafted Yelich.
Who did they trade for?
They traded for Sandy.
They traded for Sandy. Yeah.
Traded for Sandy. They traded
Was he a
Marcelo Ozuna.
prospect?
Yeah, technically.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's
Technically,
good.
he was
That
on the
would
up
work
and up.
then. I just always hear that. It's like, trading for a prospect. And I'm like, that's just as
Some of them work
fugazi
out
as
like,
the-
some of them work out like Christian Yelich, where you get nothing for Christian Yelich either.
Mm.
Like Isan Diaz, who gave you like 2 good weeks.
Right.
Great. JJ Bleday, still waiting on it, baby.
Schmid and Boyd's out Hanley. Hanley worked out.
Didn't JJ Blake get traded?
Good one.
Yeah, for Puck.
For
Puck, he got
Can
traded.
we lemon law him?
I don't think he's. I don't.
It happens.
I haven't checked it out.
Hey, it happens when guys fail the physical.
Yeah.
And they send them back.
I haven't checked. That did happen with the Marlins. That happened. They did that with the Padres. I remember that.
They got him.
They actually did the lemon
And
law.
they sent it back.
They sent his
He
ass
didn't
back.
pass the
Sent
physical.
him back, dude. They sent him back. So, yeah, man. That's
Hanley Ramirez.
I said that already.
Okay, sorry.
I said
I was
Schmiethen pointed out.
-1.
I'm
Surprising, Schmiethen didn't tell us to go to hell. He actually gave us a fact that was a useful one.
Wow.
Not usually his wheelhouse.
Getting soft.
Can I just say this? I mean, Twitch has not been nice to us today.
Oh, there we go. He goes, "Wake up, Grandpa." That's more like it, Schmiethen.
Back at it.
Leroy is the speed bump to anything fun.
Oh my God.
Tobin and Leroy perfectly dressed to kick it at Harris with the rest of the senior citizens at the coin slot. Can I tell you something?
Oh, the old love slots.
Dude, I cannot believe how many people play slot machines. It's unbelievable. I don't see it. I can't. Maybe I ain't the age yet, but it's not just old people.
No, it's a thing. It's addictive. I'm not sure why because I don't understand it, but I've seen videos of people who will use a restroom at their slot because they're like, I'm in the zone.
Leroy's shoulder pads failed the physical. You guys look like you're in Vegas selling Hawaiian timeshares.
By the way, you got a few more minutes before Dalvin Cook officially becomes a Jet. That's what you said. You said
Okay.
he had 2.
Okay.
I'm counting because if he's not, I'm taking him the Dolphins back. Even though I told him last year, even though yesterday I said I didn't want him anymore.
Okay, so
but then he had that Goosie's answer. Times change.
You know what he's saying? As long as there's competition, he can get more money.
That is what he's saying. It's a smart move by him.
Right.
He should say that.
All right.
He should go get what he can get.
All right.
But also, it sounds like he wants the Goosie's ending.
Okay. Are you gonna handle Thurman?
Am I going to handle him?
Because I'll put him on my.
What do you mean?
I'll put him on my computer. Or are we gonna cuddle?
No. Well, just turn your computer. I'll flip mine around.
Oh, okay. I got you. All right.
yeah, I think you guys should cuddle. I think you guys should get the pinkety drinkities. And
what?
We haven't been far off, dude.
Marcos.
Sleeping next to each other on a plane and tickle pinks.
Yeah. Just hit the aquarium one more time for all time's sake.
Marcos, you literally just said something like you were been watching Blue's Clues all
morning. What, the pinkity drinkity?
We'll take a quick break. Expected to talk to Keith One Time Thurman live here on Radio Row. He can talk, dude. That dude is one of the best personalities in boxing.
He got me.
Take a quick break. Back after this. Everybody, it's Tobin and Leroy. We are here live from Las Vegas, Radio Row. Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, live on Showtime pay-per-view tomorrow. It's an honor. We got one of the best that's ever done it, Leroy, former welterweight champion, one of the best personalities in boxing. Keith, one-time Thurman. It is an honor and a privilege, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, happy to be here, man. Like you guys said, man, this is a great fight this weekend. So everyone's just out here to support, I would have loved to have been banging it and trading leather with these boys, but, they bypassed me. They gunning after each other for the undisputed, and I respect that, man.
Can you take us a little bit into that? Because there were rumors, you and Spence, that was going to be a thing, and then all of a sudden the controversy.
Come on, man. That wasn't no rumor, man. They went down to Mexico. They hit the javelin. They did the whole meeting, the WBC, man. Y'all got to talk to those boys, man. We don't know what be going on here, man. Boxing politics, tricks. We don't know how this stuff works out here in the game, man. It's behind the scenes, behind the curtains, all this stuff manifested, man. But look, it did sound like Thurman, Spence, mandatory. Boom. I got sidetracked. It is what it is. This fight still is one of the biggest fights that the fans want to see, right? They hyped it up for over a year, political jogger, this and that. Oh, it's not the way I want it. Oh, they're not talking together. Just sign the contract, okay? You send me a contract, I would have been signed the contract, baby. It's the fight game. Ain't nothing new. Just another black eye, I know, man, we do need to get paid. We can't do this forever, You want to capitalize on the moment. You don't want it to disappear, You put in your rematch policy, no rematch policy, get all the fine things tuned, yada, 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 and then sign the contract, okay? So look, it's finally here. It's Saturday night. The fans are hype, I wish it could be a three-way fight. Can I just get in there? Can I get in? Hey, there's gonna be new boxing now. Okay, three-way fights. All right. Look, man, it's just exciting. It's good. It's really good for the sport. What we're gonna witness Saturday night is unprecedented. Okay, this is something Pacquiao didn't accomplish in the welterweight division. Floyd Mayweather didn't accomplish it. Money Man, all these things. TBE, the best ever, did not become the undisputed welterweight champion at any time of his career. Okay, now we can debate, was he capable? Yada yada yada. It wasn't on his agenda, right? But we need to get outside of the Floyd Mayweather generation, and I think a fight like this is exactly what we need to do that. The best versus the best. They always say, "Oh, when's this guy gonna fight that guy? When's this guy gonna?" Look, it happens when it happens, right? It's not definitely never on the fans' time. Sometimes it's not even on the fighters' time, man. It's universal time. There's timelines, and now finally the pieces of the puzzle got put together. They had to put me off to the side to make this happen, but it's happening, right? And it's great for the sport. So let's just all be grateful. Let's all enjoy it. Tune in. Get your pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? Throw on some wings on the barbecue. Get your whatever you do in the kitchen, man. Make it happen and sit down and watch greatness come Saturday night.
Now, is it as frustrating for a fighter putting these fights together as it is for us? Because, there's so many fights that you want to see, and they happen so much later, and I'm always scared that somebody gonna lose and ruin my feel good for the fight I want to see.
Look, there's a reason why all the fights happen in Vegas, right? Because this is a gamble, baby. You know what I'm saying? This game has always been a gamble. And let's be real. If any one of them would have fought Thurman before this happened, it would have been a gamble. It would have been a scramble and a gamble, okay? Look, my team, we have full confidence we can beat Thurman. We know we can beat Thurman. So where's the contract? Well, maybe just in case if he hits one of those punches, maybe we don't need that. So it's always been a gamble, man. Any of these fights, big fights, little fights, there's always risk reward. Training for a fight, fighters get injured, So this is just life. There's so many untold variables. And the thing about boxing is we're not like other sports. So the fans need to learn how to settle down. I know you won't, I know you won't, but I'm gonna tell you, okay? The fans need to learn to settle down.
To understand how hard it is to put this together.
We do not. This is not football, basketball, baseball. We do not have a calendar set out where we're just gonna make this happen, that happen. This you don't know your next fight. It's one step at a time, one match, one contract, one event. Feel your joints, your bones. How's it feel? My shoulder, my neck. How's it feeling? How's it doing? Oh, I'm good. I'm ready for the next one. And we're the fighters, man. We're the entertainment for everybody. But we love this sport, and we've always been dedicated to this sport. And every year we're doing our best. This has been a great year of boxing. Every year we do our best to make the most exciting fights that we can do. When I was out there and I fought Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, and I had my injuries and I had my comeback fight against Jose Cito Lopez, and then boom, Pacquiao. Like, I'm not trying to take a lot of little fights all around, dance around. I want great fights. I want big fights. I want meaningful fights, because the way that I work and the way that I go through camp, there needs to be something on the other end that I didn't put my body through all this just to put on an average show. We want to make great things happen in the sport, and unfortunately for me, with hearing of the mandate, made me believe that I was going to get Spence, which had me sitting on a bench. And then all of a sudden they made another fight happen. And now it's time for me to get off the bench, but I'm not fighting you. So
they got a rematch.
So what are we going to do?
Yeah. So what do you do? Because they have a rematch clause too. Like, that's got to be a frustrating thing, is like a guy who you feel like you're next, they got maybe two fights they got to do. So what do you do in that interim, Keith? Like, do you want a big one, but do you stay ready? Like, what do you do?
We're just going to have to go to work, apparently, right? We're going to have to stay busy. I don't got the time to just sit down and wait all that time. I've missed a lot of great action from injuries, COVID, and different variables. But before we came out, I had a nice short conversation with my manager. He said, "Look, the paperwork is getting put together. We're not allowed to say too many things until it's finalized. But just know that this is a big fight for the fans, and Thurman is going to be back in action this year, and looking forward to what I'm going to have to present for the fans and what's coming out next. And then you best believe Thurman ain't going nowhere. So when it comes to this 2-fight, 3-fight thing, we don't know what's going to happen in boxing. This has the potential to be a trilogy. This has the potential to be a Deontay Wilder Fury. Okay. Off the top of my head, I forget who Pacquiao fought 5 times. We ain't gonna see these boys fight 5 times. Okay?
Yeah, we don't need a Marquez situation.
They ain't gonna fight 5 times, okay? But it's this caliber of excellence that can get you into that feeling. Are we gonna see a trilogy? But that's up to the fighters. That's up to the competition. And to get to that trilogy, we need to see a little tug and war.
The fight needs to look right.
Right.
We need to see a tug and war. If one man dominates another man tomorrow night, then people are going to say, man, that's been done. Boom, easy work, Then you got post-fight conferences, and then it's like, well, actually, this was difficult, this and that. I want my second shot. It's in the contract. Boom, boom, boom. So it's interesting. This is why you can say that there's a mandatory, or you can say that there's a rematch policy, and it can manifest, and at the same time, it cannot manifest.
Yeah, the fans don't want it if it doesn't end up being good, which we think it will be, but if it doesn't.
It has to hold interest, right? We had an amazing fight with Inoue and Fulton earlier this week, right? Mm-hmm. Amazing fight. But there was dominance being exerted there, right?
Yep.
Now, I still think that a rematch could happen, just because the names are big enough, the fight was entertaining enough, maybe the second one's in Tokyo, maybe Inoue wants to come over here and stunt on American soil. Who knows, right? But obviously, the bookies and the odds are going to be completely skewed a certain way based off of performance number 1, correct?
Yep.
So this fight, is bigger. It's bigger, it's badder, right? I mean, no disrespect to Fulton, but he was 23-0, you know, 23, 21, whatever. They were just in their 20s and 0. You know what I'm saying? These are veterans that have done it. Crawford dominated 140 before he ever moved up to 147, right? He's been beating whoever they put in the ring. He finally, you know, outclassed Sean in a way that I didn't do it, and in a way that Spence didn't do it, which is really exciting for the fans. One can argue, well, Sean was beaten several times and yada, yada, yada. But a performance is a performance, and he had a great performance, right? So Spence, Crawford, I want to see tug and war. And the difference of the Inoue fight and Fulton is both of these men have bad hands. Bad. You know what I'm saying? So they both have the potential to hurt each other in any given round. And what I love about this matchup with my analytical mind is that we've seen in the past that they both can tend to be a little bit of slow starters, right?
Right.
But this is 12-round championship boxing, and someone's going to need to take the reign on this. You know, someone's going to need to try to handle the other man, you know. And another thing that I love about this fight is that we've seen the dog in both of them, right? Crawford, his last fight, right before he dropped Porter in the corner, they said, "Hey, man, you lost that round." He said, "So what?" He said, "So what? I did the what?" No. Boop, boop. Dog, right? When have we seen Spence? When Spence went overseas and fought Kell Brook, and he took that belt back to America, that wasn't just easy work. You know, a champion versus champion should never be easy work, you know? And so he had to dog it out. And in those later rounds, 7, 8, boom, 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 messed up. You know what I'm saying? Messed up. You know, he did the same thing in his last fight to Ugas with that little uppercut right to the little over the bone. Yeah. Little left uppercut. You know, look, man, that's what this fight is different. It's really something special, you know, just for fun. I'm gonna put money on the draw because I know the bookies. We gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? That thing better be like 50-1. You know,
14.
Hey, and that makes easy work for a trilogy. Look, man, it ain't nothing new out here in Vegas, baby. They want these kind of fights. They want this kind of action, man. But they still, you know, these boys are gonna have to give that kind of little performance to even let that manifest. Whoever can get his hands on the reins and start to control and exert a little bit of dominance. Find that one little trick, you know. Oh, if I double jab, do the feint and little pop pop, ooh, step back. He ain't ready for that. And then I do the little double jab, little feint, and the pop pop, and I step back. Oh, he can't touch me. Oh, okay, this is pretty. I found the formula. Boom. Who's gonna find the formula? How early? How late?
Would you say that Bud is more likely because he has a deeper bag to go to? A big, deeper bag of tricks.
This is what this whole fight talk has always been about. This leading up, man. You can't stop loving talking about Crawford. He can do this. Crawford can do that. I seen him. There was this time, and I saw him, and I saw what he did, and it was really nice, and it was impressive. And you know, it's so hard. He's such an athlete. It's hard. But once you start talking, your tongue just it's so pretty. It's so nice. It's sweet. You know, Spence has never seen a Crawford or a Thurman. And what I mean by that, fight style wise, is there's an athleticism. Spence has not fought an athletic fighter. I don't think a truly athletic boxer has been presented to the table for Errol Spence Jr. in his career yet, you know. Now he's been the truth. He's been holding it down. He's been dominating everybody they put in the ring with him. So, but when you see somebody like Crawford, who's a switch hitter, who has that athleticism, who has speed, who has power, it's just weapons. You know what I mean? It's like when the tool man comes to your house to fix something, you hope he's got a lot of tools in the toolbox. You don't want the tool man to come over with one little wrench and be like, so what am I doing today? You know what I'm saying? Like, you tell me what you're doing with that one tool. What you doing with that tool? Now, the thing is about Spence, man, you know, we know his amateur background. He was an Olympian. He's so solid. He's so fundamental. This is my analogy for people. You ever see that guy, football, basketball, baseball? They don't do anything special, and that's what makes them so special.
Right.
Okay?
They do it well.
They just do what they do, and they do it well. You know, Spence, he's so his defense and the way he plays with inches and his eyes, you know, he's very poised, he's very calm, and he's just waiting to bring that dog out, right? We got 2 dogs in the ring Saturday night, but Spence, he's been walking around the welterweight division. He's been said it many times, man down, okay? And, you know, things start off a certain way, and then all of a sudden, man down, you know? So I know he's got that scope. I know he's looking to put hurt on this man Saturday night. And I saw something on the social media, Javante Davis, you know what I'm saying? He said that Spence has a metal shield and that Crawford has a glass shield, you know, and which one's going to survive the gunfight, you know? Now, this is something that I actually do agree with him on that when it comes to overall defense, but there's something that I've seen because it's the welterweight division. I've been waiting to get my hands on these boys. I've just been waiting, you know what I'm saying? So there's something that I've seen in both of them that when it's time to open up, you know, they both got holes. And there's a saying that it's not a mistake until the other guy proves to you that it's a mistake. Till then, you haven't made a mistake, right?
Yeah.
But they both, once they get boom, 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 I'm talking about right hook, left hand down. I'm talking about left hook, right hand down. I'm talking about those kind of holes, right? And
hope they don't get caught.
At the end of the day, because they're such a threat, the people that they've been fighting, they're putting them on defense, and nobody is trading with Spence. Nobody is trading with Crawford. And let's see, that's what this is going to be about. Who's going to have their cojones? Who's going to sit down and say, look, when you throw, I throw. When you go, I go. We going toe to toe.
That tends to work out for the guy who has a steel cage, right? Because he ain't as afraid of getting broken down.
When they both go, that's green light talk. Right. There is no defense in your offense.
Right.
Besides the minute structure of how you throw and how you keep your hands up, right? Number 1 rule in boxing: protect yourself at all times. Hey, keep your hands up, champ. Keep your hands up, champ. Keep your hands up. Hey, don't put them down, champ. Don't do it. You know. So you know, this is just fundamental boxing talk. This is fundamental coaching. Coaches do this from the amateurs to the pros. Keep your hands up, right? And you know, you look at somebody really simple like Andre Ward or something. Boom, you know, when he's going on that offense, he's keeping that defense, right? But this is what I'm saying, that they get so comfortable that when they open up, I've seen both of them do the pull. This one comes out, this one comes down. This one comes out, this one comes down. And if they both green light on each other, who's gonna get that 10? You know, it's hey man, this is like a buffet, man. But sometimes it's first come, first serve. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is gonna be some great action, and we got to see, man, how much do they want it? Is this gonna be a Hagler Hearns? Do they really just want to say, yo, I'm gonna slap you up, or how methodical are they gonna step in from round 1, 2, 3? Are we gonna see chess masters in the ring? Are we gonna see dogs? Are we gonna see both? Are they gonna start off like chess masters and end like dogs? You know, and we don't know, man. That's why we're all here. That's why we're all excited. And it's to find out what's going to go down Saturday night.
Look, man, you're one of the most entertaining people in the game, champ. Thank you so much for the time, Keith Thurman. And we can't wait to see you back in action, because boxing is better when Keith Thurman is in action. We can always hear you and see you, man. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
We're back after this.
The results are in. Weekday afternoon.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM here live in Las Vegas for Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford live on Showtime pay-per-view. And look, Marlins got a big series coming on up against the Tigers this weekend. They're making moves. They're buyers. They're not sellers. But if you guys want to go see the Marlins take on the Phillies on August 2nd, call or 3 right now to 305-567-0560. 305-567-0560. You're going to get a pair of tickets to see the Marlins take on the Phillies. It has been a delight being out here in Las Vegas. Can't thank Showtime enough for having us on out here. Can't thank you enough for putting us up for the weekend as we're having some fun. I'm in my playpen here with all the boxing pundits and personalities, and you're talking about just a Goosies-inducing fight. I cannot wait for this thing. I'm looking forward to the weigh-in later on today and checking all the scene out there.
How about Thurman
I can't
going
wait
for the draw, huh?
I know. It's smart money. It's not bad because he's right. He's like, look, first of all, they're both very closely contested, 14-1. Tell me 3 judges can't see. We see bad judging all the time, or we see differentiating judging all the time. Why not? Why not throw a little scratch on it? You know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah,
so I thought that was a heady play from Keith Thurman too. Very, very smart. Very, very smart. If you guys missed it, had Freddie Roach on earlier in the show today. And this is what the legendary trainer had to say about this upcoming matchup. Radio Row in Las Vegas for Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. I got to be honest, when they told me I had the chance to talk to Freddie Roach, one of the biggest thrills, man. I'm a huge boxing fan. I was a big Manny Pacquiao fan, so to get a chance to talk to you for a few minutes was a huge thrill for me, Freddie. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
This is, I don't know how to pick this one, Freddie. It seems like such a tough matchup. Both guys are so great. They're, one, the size, the versatility of Terrence Crawford. How do you think this one shakes out, man, between Spence and Crawford?
Yeah, it's a great fight, and I'm really, really happy that this fight is happening. When the best fight the best is, we can't get it any better than this. And then, I do like Crawford in this fight. I think he's a very intelligent fighter, very smart. He figures out what kind of fight he's going to fight in the first, second round. He doesn't really just go in there with his original game plan. He plays with it a little bit and goes southpaw and switch righty. And he's very good at that. Spence is probably a little bit of a better puncher, and he's going to try to walk him down and try to knock him out. But I think that Crawford is just too smart a fighter.
When you're watching Crawford fight, like what's the switch in him when you see him kind of go into that mode to try and finish things? What is the special switch for him?
That switch right is like he'll switch from southpaw to righty or vice versa, and he'll be very, very comfortable with it. And then that's when the game plan kicks in, because he's already got that thought out in training camp, and he doesn't seem to listen to his trainers a lot in the corner. But the thing is, I'm used to that too. That happens, But the thing is, sometimes you got to get a clever fighter like him, and you just let him be what he is, and that's what I think they should do in this fight.
Giovanni Cabrera, you're training him coming into this against Isak Cruz. When you have a guy, hot shot, he's coming up, he gets the big kind of stage. Is there anything extra you have to do in preparation for, hey, there's going to be bigger lights, brighter lights, or do you want your fighter to kind of thrive in that? Like, what do you tell Giovanni going into a night like this?
Going into a night like this, I try to get the perfect game plan down and so forth, and then when the bell rings, he gets in there and he starts throwing left and right and whatever. He's another guy. He's very, very hard to figure out. I mean, he can't figure himself out, I feel, and I can't figure him out sometimes either. And sometimes he'll come back to the corner, I'll slap him in the face. I say, hey, let's get back on the game plan. And he'll listen after a while. But he is a good boxer, he's a good puncher, and he does have knockout power with both hands. And I feel that, he's fighting a smaller opponent. Everyone says this guy's like bigger and stronger and all that, but he's about 4.5 inches shorter, and I think he can beat him right down the middle.
What is it like, Freddie, training the guy on the come up when his star's starting to be bright? Because like when you're with Manny, the star's always bright. Like you always know what that's like. But I'm sure like maybe that can get routine almost to a certain point. What is it like when you get to see the budding career starting to get to finally everybody's going to get to know him?
Yeah, I mean, we just work every day, and like we're gonna work this afternoon one more time on the mitts, and he's gonna dictate everything to me that what we worked on is gonna work, and he knows it like I do, and I think we can beat his opponent right down the middle all night long because he's again a lot shorter and he's more of a hooker. He's very strong in the abs and so forth. So we are going to work the body a lot, and once we once we kill the body, the head will fall.
Man, I mean he is he's an exciting one right off the bat. Like this is going to be an exciting stage for him, Freddie.
This is exciting fight. It really is. Yes.
There was some talks maybe that Manny and Errol Spence were going to fight. You always had a very honest assessment of like how Manny could dial up, especially at maybe that point in his career. What were the things that would have worried you against Errol Spence in that kind of a matchup?
Just his punching power, and he's really a great puncher. And Manny isn't really like a true 47-pounder. He's more of a true 35-pounder, I feel, and it just like sometimes guys are just not made for the style-wise. Spence is a good puncher, the thing is. But then, Pacquiao has a lot of speed and has a lot of movement, and can he outbox this guy? That's exactly what we would try, and I feel that's what his opponent is going to do tonight, is try to outbox him, and I feel that Crawford can outbox him.
One of we're down here in Miami. Eric Spoelstra always has a big tie. He's a big fan of Manny Pacquiao. Did you ever get a chance to cross paths with Eric Spoelstra, the Heat head coach, at any point?
I've met them and say hello, but not really get to know them at all. And Crawford, I sat with during the Hall of Fame last year, and he was a nice guy, very, very, very polite. And he says, sometimes you call me great, sometimes you call me a bum. I said, well, sometimes I forget your name. I said, yeah, having too many fights isn't the greatest thing in the world.
A couple more before we get you out of here, Freddie. I know you work sometimes with mixed martial artists like George St. Pierre. The crossover fight coming up, Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. Yeah. Does Francis have any shot whatsoever? Does the MMA guy ever have a shot against the trained boxer?
Yeah, I mean it's because the awkwardness of their attack is just so different and so forth. A spinning back kick, and sometimes you don't see the kick coming with the spin. You're looking at the spin, and then you get caught cold right in the middle of it. And then like George St. Pierre, I mean, I was so happy that in his last fight he knocked the guy out with the left hook. We've been working on the left hook for 6 years. And it finally came true. So yeah, you never know when you mix the two.
We appreciate you giving us some time, Freddie. Thank you so much. Can't wait for this week. Good luck to you and Giovanni this weekend. And it was a real thrill. Thank you for giving us some time.
Thank you very much.